Hey, everybody. Welcome to Open the Gates. Tonight we're going to be having on Tank Ferret. He's going to be talking about his upcoming book, Apex Predator. So if you guys could give an awesome, warm welcome to Tank, that'd be sweet. What's up, Tank, man? How you doing?
Good, thank you. Hail to all of you magnificent bastards. It's my calling card these days.
That's cool, man. I like that.
It's fun. You know, we are kind of like indie comics, underground comics, Comicsgate. You know, most Iron Age creators kind of are the bastards of comics.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
We're the ones they don't want to acknowledge.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are like, I'm not Comicsgate. I'm not, I'm not this or that. But it's pretty funny.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, well, you know, I dig. It's, you know, I don't get hung up on labels.
Yeah, I don't either.
But you know, I do enjoy a lot of those folks.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
You're out there in you said you're out there in Illinois?
I am out here in Illinois, and it just snowed today.
That's nice.
Oh, it's cool.
It's I hear there's like pretty bad, like, I don't know, weather out there, but
I like it. I grew up in Northern California where it rains a lot, so I actually like the rain out here.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 4 distinct seasons. I enjoy that. It's little things, you know.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I'm in Southern California, so I don't really get the 4 distinct seasons.
Right. No.
Hey, dude, are you noticing a little like echo on your end?
No, man, that's StreamYard. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna reload this because if you get an echo, it means it's got a bad codec. So I'm gonna reload this page if it will let me. Okay, I'll be right back.
For sure. Yeah, I've been checking out Tank Ferret's art on Twitter, Instagram, and man, his stuff's really awesome. I love his hatching style. He does like a lot of really tiny detail work, like really in there. It's really mind-boggling just to stare at it. And he's doing some commissions now too. So yeah, man, if you guys are want a really cool piece, hit him up on Twitter. You guys could really get some nice art right now. From my understanding, he's taking commissions right now. So that might be something you guys might want to look at. Let's see here. I think I have some of his art right here. Could show some of it right now. Or wait, in a minute. Hold on a sec. What's up, brother?
All right, is that any better?
Oh yeah, no more echo.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Yeah, StreamYard, they're a lot like us. They're indie, and they're a little rough around the edges.
Right.
Give them a chance.
Yeah, I was telling them like you're doing some commissions right now, right? You're open for commissions.
I'm just wrapping up the last of the commissions for right now because I'm moving to focus in on the book.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And then immediately hot on the tails of that, while I'm fulfilling that book, we'll be launching the Omniverse Incursion tabletop tradable character game. Yeah,
that's dope.
Yeah, kind of like like HeroClix, but affordable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's really cool, man. I've been actually. It's funny you say that. I've been talking to one of my buddies, and we were talking about. I have to have a business meeting with them probably in about a week or two. Yeah. I've actually been talking about that, man. There's some really like different styles of tabletop games, and there's one that he showed me that we're thinking about doing that.
Ooh, yeah, dude. I would love to get together with a bunch of the indie tabletop creators and come up with a universal conversion book for all of our systems. That way we can let the audience pick and choose, and then basically, you're just basically selling content at that point.
Oh yeah,
right. I always loved that about conversion books. Gosh, you really don't see a lot of those outside of the 80s. Though.
Have you heard of Morgborg?
Morgborg?
Check it out. That's It's a little something. Check it out.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out.
Check that shit out, dude.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, man. So you got your weather over there. Like I've been seeing things. I check my email, a couple times a day, and I'm just like, oh, don't expect packages to be delivered. It's fucking snowy over here,
Right. Well, luckily, I'm actually on one of the emergency routes, so our packages always arrive.
Oh, okay. And I just mailed one off to Preston Azevedo.
Oh, cool.
And, I'm like, oh shit, he ain't getting this stuff till they're like, yeah, he's not getting it till the 2nd, So.
Oh my.
What up, Chris? How you doing, brother?
Hey.
But yeah, man. A lot of cool books coming out. I do reviews too. On the books I back. I don't do critiques or nothing like that really. I just get in there and review and talk about the shit I like about it, and maybe some people like will look at it and be like, oh, I like that page, or I like what he's, the book that person or Matt's showing, So I've been kind of trying to get in there like once a week and do that, pick up a beer to kind of go with it. It's been fun, man. And you said you were knocking out some commissions yourself.
Yeah, I'm finishing up the last of the commissions. I've got 2 clients left. Running a little bit behind schedule on them, by little, by a lot. But they're really awesome people, and they're putting up with the lateness. But everything will be into their projects on time. I had a deadline. It's just later than I said I would have it done. But which is kind of happens, I hate that because it's a loss of face. And that stings.
It happens with artists, like things happen, I finished my commissions, and I had to put my book on hold. I did like a Cyber Monday special this month, and I did a few of them, and I'm like, okay, I didn't get to work on my book this month, but it was cool because I got to do some work and get some cash. And I just like, damn, like next year, like how am I going to be able to like do commissions and work on my stuff? So I'm already like planning next year out, like today and tomorrow. I'm doing everything. I mean, because you're here right now, it's almost New Year, so I'm like talking about this shit. I'm even like changing my diet up. I'm fucking planning out my live streams, my content, my commissions, my fucking. Me and Brian Christgau are doing a book. That's gonna factor in there. I'm doing my own book, so I'm probably gonna do another thing too. So it's just all these things scheduling. So I know it's dumb, but I go to the Dollar Tree every year and I get a 99-cent planner, and I just write in there just so it's visually there. It doesn't mean I'm gonna stick to it, but I'm going somewhere, and like that's the way,
Hey man, we're this next year we're kind of on the 20th anniversary of my deployment to Iraq, and I still carry around a notebook and a pen in my pocket.
Yeah.
And it's that cheap dollar store notepad. You get like 3 of them for $1.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Like I don't know. I love the little. What up, Chris? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Hell yeah.
Yo, I can't get enough of that sugar, Chris. He's got the booty, don't quit. That's the only reason he shows up when I'm on stream. He just wants to hear his theme song.
The Golden Grid. What I love about those little planners, man, is they got the date in there. You know what I mean? And it really shows, like, oh, I got Tank Ferret this day, like I got Mike Barron on Saturday at this time, it's fucking, it keeps everything fucking kind of lined up, and I try to open it up in the morning and just trying to set goals, and like I notice if I don't have that, how do I say it? If I don't put deadlines on things, like where's the wall at? I mean, where's things, like there has to be deadlines for myself. Like I got to hold myself accountable, try to, and then when it gets there, like, what, I tried, but some things you just can't do it though. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. You gotta have a scheduled, you gotta have a good schedule and good time discipline.
Who I like kind of look at is fucking Bancroft and Graham Nolan. Those are like the 2 guys. I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing. I like, see how they keep everything very regimented and try to have fun. Even schedule time for nothing. Like I actually want to schedule time for just playing video games and barbecuing.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
it gets tight, man. You got kids, you know how it is, right?
Oh yeah. I've got 6 of them. Luckily, 2 of them no longer require adult supervision, as they are adults. They may now supervise themselves.
That's cool, man. Congratulations, brother.
Oh, thank you. They survived. Yay!
Yeah, right. No, that's cool, man. And your pops, you know, they're there. You know, that's what they need. You know what I mean? I gotta ask you, man. You got a favorite metal band?
Oh, favorite metal band. That's a tough one. Depends on my mood for the day.
Yeah, no, totally, 100%. Me too, man.
Like, I don't know if overall favorite metal band. Like, what would be my go-to metal band?
Yeah. It's a hard one.
It really is tough. Like, I like stuff, everything from like Maiden to like Napalm Death.
Yeah, me too.
All the way to like Nightwish and Cradle of Filth. You know, I love metal.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm a metal.
I like my coffee black, just like my metal.
Right. I remember a guy at work told me that one time. It's like, I like my metal. I like my metal like my coffee black. I'm like,
black.
That's cool. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it depends on the mood I'm in, you know, like sometimes I want something a little hot, like dark, and then sometimes I want technical, and sometimes I want a little groove.
Right.
Sometimes I want
to listen to some prog rock.
Yeah.
You know, just pop in some Yes or Styx or something, you know.
Sometimes I want like all of that, like a band that can combine a bunch of that shit, and I'm crying my beer, you know.
Right. And sometimes I just want it simple and dirty. So, you know, put on some Corn, or some, you know, or like some Cannibal Corpse. Well, that's not so simple. That's actually really complex music.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Like a Cannibal, yeah, they got some technical shit too. All that Floridian death metal, man, that whole scene, you know.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I still got to check out that Metalocalypse movie that came out, and the albums and shit. I
have not seen that movie. I have not heard of this movie.
Yeah, it came out like, I think the movie and the album came out at the same time. Like, what the fuck? I'm slipping, you know. But it's been a strange, like, I think 16 or 17 months for me. I've been like changing careers. I worked the same career for like fucking 16 years, and I had to switch it up. I got tired of retail, and I was like, I'm gonna do something else. I wanna work somewhere else, do something else, you know. And it's just sometimes it's got to do it, you know. Something in you tells you what to do, and you got to follow your gut. So, you know, now I'm just like kind of getting stable. Things are going good. Things are like, at the moment, like I'm at like almost exactly where I've wanted to be, like with my life and art and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
Nice. Good. I like to hear stuff like that, man. That stuff gets me motivated. I want to see the Iron Age creators, all the new Iron Age creators succeed, man. I'm of the persuasion of let the empires die, let there be new nations born.
Well, yeah, me too, man. Like, I've been saying some shit that like it kind of hurts coming out of my mouth. I'm like, don't say that, Matt. You know, but I feel that like the LCSs need to boycott the big two, at least for 6 months, man. Just like stop buying all their shit and bring in indie. Sell your pops, sell your fucking Marvel signatures, sell your sideshow, sell your fucking manga, sell your t-shirts, and you know, even sell a little image. Fuck it, and then you know, you can sell the littler, bigger fucking bringers, but go big on indie. And fuck those guys, man. Yeah. They're the ones that are tanking the shit, because they're the one. If they're not around, then they'll crash. So you might as well just say, well, fuck you guys. We're gonna crash anyway. Let's see what we could do without you. Maybe you can course correct a little bit, fire a couple motherfuckers, and bring in some people that are still around that'll write and could kind of flush those universes down the toilet. And because if that works, then everything's going to work. It's going to help. It's going to bring more people to comics. Things have changed. There's always going to be creators on YouTube now. So even if the industry does bounce back, and gets to where it once was, let's say in the 80s or 90s or 70s, it's not going to change where we're at, because this has already happened and people are accustomed to it. You know what I mean? So, man.
Well,
I think that needs to happen.
I was going to say it's up to us indie creators. I mean, most of us aren't even indie; we're underground, right?
Yeah.
But it's up to us independents to get a book that, and this comes from a lot of survey data, right? I've surveyed lots of people. I've surveyed people who surveyed people, and there's a couple of things they're looking for, right? They want a $3 comic, right? Preferably they want 2 for $5.
Sounds about
customers.
Right. Yeah.
$5 comics are rotting on the shelves.
Yeah, it's hard. It's kind of like fuck, but okay, give me it,
And store owners want a minimum of a 20% profit margin to include what it costs for the product to get shipped to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it gets rough, right? So, and I encourage, like, gosh, who was it that was talking about it, man? And it was great advice. It was like, yeah, when you run your campaign, all the bells and whistles, glow in the dark holographic yogurt covered covers, edible trading cards, just go get nuts, right? But when it comes to your retail, right, and have that retail in mind, like, that's where you go the alternate route. You go with something that's inexpensively produced.
Right. Yeah.
That is going to be quality. Like I love Alterna comics because the ink doesn't rub off on your hands, but you can still use silly putty.
Yeah, I love the Alterna stuff, man.
Yeah.
Dude, they're doing I don't know if you read Blood Realm and fucking King Cryptid, but they're doing a crossover, dude.
Dude, I'm so out of date.
I'm pumped on that. Like, they just did the announcement, so it's going to be King Cryptid crossover with Blood Realm. So that's like my 2 favorite books by them. So,
but, dude, I caught the first few issues of Blood Realm.
Yeah,
and I think I caught the second issue of King Cryptid. I didn't get the first issue because I got it part of an Alterna bundle.
Oh, okay.
And thoroughly enjoyed the hell out of all of them.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly, Pete's got a good eye. He's a good submissions editor, because I haven't been disappointed in a single Alterna comic, and I usually buy them I usually get the bundles for the kids.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Because I've got all the way from 6 years old to a teenager.
Okay.
So, and he's wise enough to be able to consume adult material without getting I'm not adult, but mature reader material up to what I would call heavy metal.
Yeah, right. The best.
Yeah, draw the line at heavy metal. yeah, man. But I love the Alterna. I love what they're doing there. I love that price point. I see other creators doing that, starting to get the retail packages where it's like, yeah, this isn't the collector's edition. This is what the actual like retail version would be.
Yeah.
Buy 5 copies, buy 10 copies,
get that,
buy 20 copies. Right.
Like for me, like what I want to do it personally is like, I'm going to do, for me, because I write and I illustrate and I do everything and I color, but I'm not going to color anymore. I'm going to just do I'm going to try to put out more books as good as I could make them, story and art, but I'm going black and white now. I'm really digging the art.
Oh, hell style.
Yeah. And the books, you could probably make them a little cheaper, especially if you're like by yourself, and the styles of the genres I do, they kind of lend themselves to black and white. And
nice.
I want to do different size formats, dude. I want to do magazine size books now.
Oh, hell yeah.
I want to do bigger books. And like for where we're at with the movement we're in, Comicsgate, Iron Age, whatever the fuck, indie. Again, we're
Magnificent Bastards, the whole lot of us.
Yeah, like it lends itself to more of a boutique look, and I want to do that, but I'm not going to do like a bunch of like tchotchkes with my campaigns either. So I'm going to try to bring like the price point down as low as I could get. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that way the book's kind of cheap, inexpensive, and the artwork is big, so they get a big magazine size, edition of something.
Hell yeah.
And I want to get the shipping down, and that's just me reacting to the course of, like I'm trying to course correct, and times are changing and what people want. They want that $3 book, and our books are $35. You know what I mean? For America, we say 25, but they're $35. Our books are $35 for the most part, So I want to try to get the page count up to like 75 or 80 pages. You know, I want to try to get it down below that. You know, I'm not going to say a price because the shipping is always changing, you know. So, but that's my goal, man. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to start doing, you know, because my last campaign I had like a bunch of stuff on there, and I've asked people like, what do you want the most of, like, you know, and they're like, man, maybe a couple things, but I just really fucking want the book, you know. So I'm just like, okay, let's streamline it a little bit, you know what I mean? So that's my goal going forward.
Yeah, I'm hoping that because you know the U.S. Postal Service is very particular about what counts as media mail, and I'm hoping that because it says you can't have advertising unless it's incidental advertising, right? So that means it's for in-house stuff, right? So for Marvel to get the media mail rate, like these days, it used to be different. It used to be you could just advertise whatever the hell you wanted to, but and comic book subscriptions were a viable option, dude. I subscribed to my first subscription was Shadow the Bat, Norm Brayfogle as the artist, and I picked that one up because we were buddies, and I didn't, and we both kind of geeked out when he got the job, the Batman artist job, and I missed that asshole. Pardon me. But and it was cheap. I saved money as opposed to going to the store, and I kind of want to. I'm CEO of Tank Ferret Presents, and I represent a small group of creators, and we work with various studios and artists and whatnot. We got a long, dude. We are I think a creator from Tank Ferret Presents has a campaign running every month of this next year.
Oh, that's dope.
One of our creators is running something, and I'm just, we're guiding it, running it smooth machine, compartmentalized operations. So if one campaign is behind schedule, that doesn't affect anything, right? That doesn't affect any of the other campaigns. And this took like the greater part of this last year to really, once again, we talked about scheduling and time management to get that in really strict, because we've got 9 floppies. That's a 6-issue miniseries and a 3-issue miniseries, 2 graphic novels coming out this year, one of which will be crowdfunded. The other one is going to publication through Marcosia Publishing.
Nice.
And yeah, we've partnered with them to kind of hit that retail market. Harry Marcos has like 30 years experience in the publishing industry. Marcosia's been in business since 2005, so they know what they're doing.
Right.
And they publish the indie favorite Geek Girl.
That's cool, man.
But we got them, and like with the Omniverse Incursion tabletop game, we've got I think 7 different creators.
Oh wow.
For series 1, 35 figures in total for the first series.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's fun, easy to play. Buy your starter kit, and then you just pick up a little Gachapon booster, which is like a pack of trading cards, except for it comes with a single minifig, a mini comic, and the trading card that has all the information you need to play that character.
That's pretty badass. It's got like a whole package in one.
Yeah, no, trying to like streamline the operation. We were going to sell the individual figures as a whole, like ready to play kit.
Yeah.
But it was like, dude, that's a $10 buy-in, man. And then every time you want to do a booster, you're getting more of this junk, right? You're getting, you could probably use an extra 10-sided die. But it's like, you're not going to need an extra measuring cord. Because that's what we have. We have a measuring cord. It's basically a parachute cord that we have custom dyed to have its measurement markers.
Oh, that's cool.
Right. That way you can snake it around or just measure out however much you need. Right.
Yeah.
Fun. Remember fun?
Yeah. Right. Never happened to the fun stuff.
Yeah, this is fun. It's for ages 10 and up. It doesn't actually we could probably get away with ages 8 and up. I've got to ask a friend of mine that I consult on matters of standard education, but we figure 10 and up is appropriate enough.
Good age right there.
Yeah, something the whole family could play, you know.
What's up, Pops?
Hey, what's up, Pops? Get on camera. Yeah, here's the problem with that. Boo. I'm a ghost. Ooh. Yeah, my wife works. My wife's got a job where she gets up really early in the morning, and my office is in the bedroom. So I can work in there quietly with my headphones on. Yeah. She's a good husband. She brings home bacon. I'm a good wife. I make sure she comes home for a hot meal.
That's cool, man. I mean, you get to, you got to handle your business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and we talked about it. We went job hunting, and we basically, paper, rock, scissors via job hunting. And she got a good job.
That's cool.
That has overtime. So so I'm the domesticator, the educator, and then make the money later.
Oh, that's the point,
which is good. There's another reason why I don't have to do commissions right now. I don't have that pressure. I've got clients lined up for this next year. Like I'll be doing our artwork for Neon Revenant from Rock Hard Comics.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, we got. Oh, dude, it's gonna be a hell of a book. Yeah, it's gonna be a great book.
Well, I mean, as far as your art goes, man, I got some stuff right here. I was wondering maybe we could share it. We could check
Sure. Yeah, we can take a trip through history. The most delayed Comics Gate book there is. So yeah, this stuff's from like 2016 when I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to get this story out. I'd written it, and it had been edited, and all the stuff. I had over 800 pages of script.
Nice.
For this. So then I was like, okay, cool. Now I'm going to start, knocking out some vibe, getting a feel for things. I can't, it's hard for me to, when I was looking at this stuff, I was like, man, I can't even look at this art anymore. Cause it's mine, cool, man. And it's, I appreciate it.
Like every year I'm like that, like, damn, I can't even, look at last year's art, Yeah,
it's mine, and it's old, and I'm like, it needs to be updated.
But it's like, we got to have, I think this art's dope, and it's like, we all have to start from somewhere. You know what I mean? Like for me, like even when I make my books, I'm never going to go back and like reprint it and re-update my shit. You know what I mean? Like, this thing is wrong. I'm going to redraw that, or I'm going to re-letter that, or I'm going to fucking put some sound. No, this shit's always going to be raw in the way it is. You know what I mean? Like that way people can see where I came from, and I can know, and I can always remember where I came from,
Right. Absolutely. So, that's why I don't take it down. I just leave it up there. I'm like, no, let them see.
This is cool.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I like the vehicle chart right there. I still use that one because I wanted the because I do have it does take place over a larger timeline. I have to kind of go, okay, this is what stuff looks like during this time period, and then a decade later it looks like this. Like here's and you watch the styles change and stuff like that. But
that's cool, man. I like that old man right there.
Oh, thank you. Yes, Dr. Williamson. Poor Dr. Williamson. Right oh, yeah. Copperhead, the leader of the South Valley Snakes.
Well, that's cool.
A Los Angeles street gang.
That's cool.
And then the various scalpel units. Oh, which one?
Oh, it's just because I came here and none of these image populated before.
Oh, okay. So. Yeah, reference sheets, kind of drawing out how
I like that.
How
like
stuff
blueprint.
looks. Oh yeah,
That
the vending machine loader repair bot.
guy. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
do you know what's funny is that I think once in the 6-issue miniseries, you see one in the foreground. They're usually just in the background.
So you're gonna have to come on, man, when this campaign launches. Right now, this is like a behind the scenes pre-launch of the pre-launch, right? So right now, you guys are getting like a little taste. This is cool, man. I want to show some more stuff. I got a bunch of goodies up here for you guys to check out. Let's see here. All right.
Yeah. Also, when I was designing it, I wanted to reflect the current state of technology, and at the same time, give a unique look.
Yeah,
to everybody. Right. See if they pass the silhouette test, and I did that.
Oh yeah.
And I haven't been able to find those pictures. I know that I photographed them years ago, and I had silhouette tests for everybody. Because that's one of the things that I do in character design. I do a silhouette test, and then I do the Daria test.
I do the silhouette test. We talk about that on the show sometimes, and I learned that from watching the Hobbit movies, because they had all those dwarfs that looked the same, and that was the only way they could do it. And then I heard it from another special features on some other movie too, and then a couple artists that have been on the show. But what'd you say, Dario test?
The Daria test. You remember the show Daria, the spinoff from Beavis and Butthead?
Yeah, I remember her.
So you remember in the outro credits, the end credits, the characters would be off on the side of the screen dressed up as various different things.
Okay.
But you could distinctly tell the characters apart.
Okay.
And I was like, huh. So I tried that out with some characters like that were, I tried it out like Wolverine. You know, you can draw him dressed up as the Statue of Liberty, as a cheerleader, as a football player, and he's still Wolverine.
I see what you're saying.
Right. And that's, and I think, and really it's it's like it's Gil Kane and Jim Lee, really, Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri that really added the most visually to the character, you know what I mean, and really helped define him.
Oh, okay.
You know? And cool. Like, you do the silhouette test with him. Great. Yeah, of course. You pop those claws out, you see the distinct pointiness of his mask, and you're like, oh, well, duh, that's Wolverine. Well,
a little bit of Frank too, maybe Barry Windsor as well.
Oh yeah. No, for real. Yeah, they really did.
My favorite is Barry Windsor Smith's, like from Weapon X. It's him, that iconic image where he's in the tank and he's just holding up his forearm. And he's just like that. Like that to me is like my favorite image of Wolverine. It's real basic, but it's just with all the tubes coming out and shit. Oh,
cool. Dude, it's iconic. And Barry Windsor Smith just I threw that in, even though it's not my art. I found it and I was like, you know what, it's going in that folder because it fits. Yeah, finger painting. That was the name of that last picture. Remember, she's got the thumbs up.
And this is also, I've seen this one on Twitter. This one's also too, man. It's badass.
Oh, thank you.
Is that going to be the cover of one of the issues, or?
I might use it as one of the covers. I'm going to redraw this. It's a few years old at this point, but okay. I want to redraw this because it's good. I like the kind of lounged power man spreading. Like, look, that's a dominant pose right there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, it's good to be the king. No, cross that out. Apex is good to be the apex predator. I just wanted to have some, fun. Once again, going for the fun.
Yeah, I love all the tiny like cross hatching you do, man. It's fucking badass.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff, man. Gosh, I don't even know if there's like a singular artist that I could say that I got that from. It's really just mostly based on childhood memories of reading old comics from like the 60s and 70s and the 80s, right? That were black and white. And I fell in love with all that deep cross hatching and illustration as well that were in my young readers books where they were illustrated books. I always got way into that stuff.
I really dig this piece right here too, man. Is this part of Apex Predator as well?
Yes, that was the original cover design for the Retribution book. That was going to be a big graphic novel, and I was going to release it in chunks. Where it's like, okay, cool, we've reached resolution, we can cut it there, and it's got enough of a hook that I can pick up in the next one, and we could just do a little bit of rehash, or without rehashing, be able to communicate that again. And that took some tricky editing. That cost me a lot to work with an editor back and forth to kind of like get that kind of moved out. But yeah, that very symbolic of that one. A lot of symbolic imagery there.
I like it. I love all the skulls, the fine hatching. I would say fine hatching. Yeah, man, it's dope. I like the hair that's like the devil horns, but that's her hair probably, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Symbology.
Yeah, with the rest of it spread out like wings.
And the cards.
Yeah, the Ace of Spades, the Death card. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was listening to that one. I was listening to an OTEP song. Speaking of metal, and I was like, yeah, that. You know what? That's what I'm gonna make that a scene.
Oh fuck yeah, man! I love this art right here too, man.
Oh, thank you.
It reminds me of like Vince Locke a little bit from Cannibal Corpse.
Oh, cool.
He's I like his art a lot too. It also reminds me of like I don't know, kind of reminds me of like The Crow a little bit. I don't know if you were into that at all.
Yeah.
That's a big influence on myself. I like Obar's art. Love his art. Yeah, man. I just like your art reminds me of like a lot of like the '90s guys, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Like the undercover, like the underground guys, Also like Vigil. I like Vigil's art. Kind of reminds me of that.
Oh yeah. And Texiera.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Like that was one of my favorite comics. The Sabretooth run he did with the die cut cover. That was a big influence on me, man. Just growing up, that was like one of the comics, because I always read Mad magazine and Cracked, so I had a lot of comics, but there was a couple that I just really would pick up a lot, and that was one of them.
Yeah, I found him when I read Cyforce, right? From the Marvel's New World or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right. And he was the artist on that, and I watched him. Like, he was good when the comic started, but as the comic went on, like, his artwork just got better and better and better and better. Mm-hmm. And then years later, I would see him, like, he nailed the Ghost Rider gig, and I was like, done. I've never read Ghost Rider before in my life, but I'm buying it.
Yeah, I love Ghost Rider, man. Like, I want to go back and get all the Plug shit. I want to get his Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
Like, believe it or not, like, I don't know, man. Like, to be real with you, brother, like, there's not like, people say there's a lot of like people to back. Like, I don't know who to back. There's so many campaigns. Like, I feel like now, like, there's not that many people to back anymore. Like, a lot. I feel like half the people left. So I don't know. I mean, there is a lot of people, but it's like there's also a lot of people left, dude. Like half the people fucking left. And I could start dropping receipts right now.
Well, and it's not to demean them at all, because they gave it the old college try.
What up, brother?
But, it is it's a brutal income, right? It's a brutal job.
It's a brutal time sucker, time vampire, the whole indie comics thing. And I, sometimes, every 5 months or so, I'll wake up and I'm like, God, do I want to do this still? I don't know. And then after I take a shower and, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this shit, after I fucking, wash all the soy off me. I'm like, all right,
right.
Fuck it. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it. It's just what's going to happen. It just is what it is. So, yeah, man. So like, but there's not as many people here, man. And so I try to back as many people as I can. But on top of that, there's a lot of fucking 90s, straight up like 90s books, old books I want to get, dude. Like that I'm like adding to my list, like Dead World I want to get, Poison Elves.
Oh, hell yeah.
Faust, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, dude. I remember reading Faust.
Stuff, old fucking Ghost Rider. There's a gang of Bernie Wrights and shit I want to get that he did. There's a stories he did with like Steve Niles I want to pick up. Like there's just so much shit out there like that's already out that I want more so now. Let's see, Brian. It's just tough now because you can't fill a grocery bag with less than $100. Yeah.
No, dude, tell me about it.
You got to really like budget and kind of know what the cuts are. Like over here, like the best cut of meat you could get, like far as tender is tri-tip, at least in California. I don't know, like for your buck, it's tri-tip, and that's $4 a pound. So
that's good.
It's fucking good, So and I know how to cook tri-tip, and we'll make video with it. Well, I'll make fucking Californian Santa Maria tri-tip. I'm sure you know about that.
Oh yeah.
So I'll smoke it, I'll grill it. I haven't done that in a while, but I used to do that. I used to sit out in front of the barbecue, bump metal, and draw and write, create characters, write stories, da. But you got to really pick and choose where you want to shop, and it's a challenge, and I plan out my meals with my wife, dude. We get a menu going once a week, and I used to do it every 2 weeks, but you end up going to the store more than once. It's like, I might as well just do it every 6 days. And
I lived in Los Angeles for over 15 years, and I learned early on that you never shop for meat at the grocery store. You always go to the carniceria.
Yeah. No, I mean, I used to do that too, bro. But like, they're even more money now. Like,
wow.
Guess how much? Like, okay, so skirt steak or carne asada, right? That used to be $4 a pound. Now it's $9.99.
And then the rich people the rich people found out about it.
They found out about it, and they're like, "Oh, bro, let's get some carne asada." So you got like the fucking Orange County, like whatever the fuck, and then you got the other rich people like buying the shit, and it's like, oh my god, like the price went up pretty quick actually. That one jumped up a lot, especially like the marinated stuff,
Oh yeah, I know, man, it's nuts.
And it's expensive to marinate it. Like if you buy all the ingredients and marinate it, that's expensive too. I mean, I know how to do it, but it's like, fuck, man. And that shit don't hit the tortilla where I'm at, man. We'll be grilling that, just snacking that, ripping that meat up
on the grill. Like I don't fuck around. Talking
about. But yeah, dude, it's tough. And Brian's right about that, I love this piece right here, man.
Oh, thank you.
I like this. Looks like a prison break or maybe a riot or something like that.
It is a riot, yeah. And that building that's in the background. So if you follow that street straight forward to where it intersects with that building, that street back there, where the building is, that is 4th and Hill in Los Angeles. I parked my car and I sat down and I futured up the city a little bit.
No, that's cool, man. See, like, and that's what I like. Like, these are the type of books I like. Again, very indie, very fucking old school, like independent 90s style, dude. I mean, I hate to fucking be so specific, but that's like what I like and what it reminds me of. That's like what I'm really fucking feeling as of late. Also Heavy Metal magazine, very visually. Also, I like that. Oh, man, I like that perspective shot right there.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was at a friend's apartment and I just went out onto the patio and just was like, okay, cool. I'm going to sci-fi this up a bit.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, cool. Nice shot.
No, thank you.
And we're just going through the art right now, guys. I am going to ask him more questions, but I just want to kind of consume all of your art,
This is from 2006 when I originally was going to produce the book.
Oh,
This is the oldest. It's from the first page.
Oh, it's a pretty cool way to start a book,
Yeah,
it's a good way to do it, like just grab them right by the throat.
Yeah, it's and I make no illusions. Like in the end, Scalpel Zero will be no more.
Okay.
In the end, it's because I'm like, dude, it's cyberpunk, and it has a cyberpunk happy ending. In other words, it's going to be bittersweet.
So she is Scalpel Zero?
Yes.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if she was Scalpel Zero or if it was like a big tech corporation or something like that.
Yeah, no, so Scalpel Zero, the 0 is the number indicator for the prototype.
Okay.
Right? That's why it's her designation is Zero. And she's an amalgamation of bio and cyber tech.
Fuck yeah.
You know, grown, assembled, printed. This is bleeding edge technology.
Oh fuck yeah, man.
And so bleeding edge that it was a. There, you'll get into it in the story. Yeah, no, it's fun. I give it to you. I drip feed you on exposition. You know,
because I know you're like, I've listened to you on streams. I've listened to you on Vic. Like you fucking, I know you know your shit. You got a lot of you. You know, I've actually learned stuff from listening to you, like late night drawing. Like because
good.
Because Vic's up. I like to watch Vic sometimes. Because you know, he's up and he's drawing some cool stuff live. He's like the only guy that does that really in the sphere, dude.
Yeah.
He's sitting there drawing live, and he's usually you know, fighting or arguing with somebody and or something. He's fucking entertaining as hell.
Yeah, Vic's a good dude, man.
Great guy. He did one of the first shows on here too when I started this show. He's like in the first top 5.
Yeah, and for the Apex Predator campaign, I'm gonna have a Vic King trading card.
Yeah, Vic, for my next Butch Cleaver book. I mean, that's probably not going to be for like 5 or 6 years, but he's doing a trading card too. He drew some art for it, but I think he sold it. But he might have to draw another piece or something. But I already told him.
Okay.
Him and Dan Flegel.
Yeah. No, I've got. I talked to Dan briefly, but I'm more concerned about his health. I told him, I was like, look, I'll hit you up if you know, blah blah blah. But you know, it's like, yeah, I want a Dan Flegel because Zero. I did one of these things. I pulled a Power Girl.
That, right? She'd be perfect for that, dude.
Yeah, see, I pulled a Power Girl and I started increasing her bust size until people started paying attention.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like that's kind of my thing. You know what I mean? Like that's how I you know, I got one word for you, brother. Like for females, my one word is for Zeta. That's how I go. So you know, I like this right here, man. Too easy.
Oh, thank you.
You know,
too easy.
Oh yeah, right? Dude. Hell yeah.
Yeah, these were just references for my own sake of like, okay, let me do just a quick reference so I could see what like kind of capabilities, like visually tell myself visually without just, you know, I could play tons of tabletop RPGs and stuff like that. And I put her into stats. Heck, a buddy of mine had a cyberpunk game that was out of control. And I was like, well, hey, I've got this new character, this new story I'm working on. Can I try the character out in your world? And by the end of 6 months of playing with those guys, like she owned everybody, and anybody she didn't own, she had crosshairs on them. Like it was brutal. And I was like, I love this character. Yes, I will publish this. I greenlight this project now.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. And then it's cool sometimes just to have like your character whooping ass and just having those little moments, you know, like, oh, they can pull this move off, and oh, I don't want to forget this move. I call them gags, you know.
Right.
And the gags are hard to write too. And sometimes the fucking gags are okay. You could take, I don't know, like sometimes you want that perspective for that gag, that finishing move, or that headlock, or that power bomb, or that choke slam, or that fucking right cross, or that kick, you know, or whatever the fuck you're gonna do in your book. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sometimes even like a visual drawing from that, you know what I mean? Or how is her clothes gonna fold when she's throwing that punch? You know, how's the costume gonna react to that? How's the material gonna react to that? You know, how's it gonna fold?
Yeah.
And then you got these pictures right here where it's just her chilling and you're getting the fucking world. You know what I mean? Like to me, this is like a t-shirt, dude, even from the book or like the cover. Like, I don't know. And like you want this for yourself, but it's like someone like me looking at it like, dude, that's fucking cool, man. Like you could see the world. It's spiders, you know, security. She's looking out the window probably.
She's this one I want to redo this one. I want to come back to this one because she's looking at the people. I think the next picture in order here is the security camera's POV. But that's high praise. I do appreciate it. Freaking hipsters always ruin it. Yeah, they do. With their stupid handlebar mustaches and
big old beards,
flannel beards and man buns. What a contradiction. Yeah, see, yeah, it is.
That's cool.
And so yeah, I just kind of like did that once again just for my own reference. Like, she's coming over to this guy's place, she's bugging him. He don't want to see her, but she's gonna get her way. She's determined.
I like that.
Oh yeah, or visiting the Prometheus facility in the Colorado mountains.
Dude, you know what you should do? You should. I mean, never mind. You already got your plan, but I won't fucking say it anyway. You should put out a. You should put out a fucking behind the scenes book, because you have compiled so much artwork of Apex Predator with all of this in there. I mean, obviously you can do back matter, but dude, you could do a fucking book probably. You got.
I plan to. Right now, we're doing the to see. What we're looking at right there was the 2065 Retribution, right? 2065 actually being the year.
Yeah.
Right now, we're in 2064. It's the Shadows book.
Okay.
Right. Which is the events that lead up to the shit show that is the 2065, the year that Scalpel Zero was destroyed. The world changed. It became by the end of the year, it was locked in and solidified that this was to be a cyberpunk dystopian nightmare, and life was never going to be the same. We start off in 64, and it's recognizable, right? The world is recognizable, just with a bit more tech, a little bit more building, a little bit more crowding.
Oh yeah, I'm digging this. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, thank you.
Brian's right too, man. Very, very 2000 AD.
That's high praise. That's high praise.
Again, like that's just more stuff that I'm influenced by a lot.
Yeah, I love old school 2000 AD heavy metal magazine. I love black and white.
Me too. Like that's just more stuff I want to go back and get. You know what I mean? Like, I love the line work on this guy's face. I love the.
Thank you.
Very good. Radiant. Love it.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, he'll be around. He's a player.
Love that. Oh hell yeah! Got a
I had it.
Yeah, Harmony.
Yeah, dope, I've got my parodies and my brands and all that stuff. So I had to do Borg Thugs in Harmony.
That's dope, dude. That would be like a cool shirt, man.
Dude, I would love to show it to Bone Thugs in Harmony and just be like, "Yo, this is your fault." Oh, that was the original logo too for the book.
It was 2065 Retribution.
Yeah, 2065 Retribution. That was for the collected works for the next one. But
I love all the lines up here from the perspective.
Thank you.
Put it. I love seeing stuff like that. Like if this was a T-shirt, I'd have it all white. You know what I mean? And I'd keep all that in there. And just because I like seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to take this picture, and I'm going to. Thank you, Chris. I'm going to take this picture, and I'm going to redo this digitally and clean it up, because I noticed that there were some errors. I missed some details. Yeah, sometimes you just want to capture the character in a single shot. Yeah,
like sometimes too. Like I like the errors. I know it sounds kind of and
right.
I don't know. Like I like the rawness of shit, dude. I like it raw. No, but I mean, like I like to see like just the rawness of things. Like that's again from the whole like that 90s underground time. Like
right.
I don't know, man. Like I just like seeing like real sketchy, real punk, like the art, the pencils, like just really. Even this right here, it's real sketchy. Same thing.
And for movement for Apex Predator, I do that. It's got a little bit of a rough feel to it.
Yeah.
I sat around and I drew it and I inked it, and I tried drawing in different styles and stuff. And I just wanted to find the art that best conveyed the story, because it is her story. So the way that you view the world is kind of how she views the world. And not to get too artsy fartsy, but I kind of get into like that with all these pictures and stuff, like how rough or how clean they are. Like how clear is her head?
Right.
Like this one right here, I call finger painting.
This one right here?
Yep. It's finger painting. You notice that she's
finger.
not. Yeah, that's not her thumb.
Yeah, she got two of them, huh?
Yep. She's giving a thumbs up. It's not hers, but you're getting a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's the white one. That's dope, dude.
Well, and the premise of this is that she's a decade-old Cybertroid, right? She's the prototype. She's been out there for a decade. International law is like, is this human? Is this not? This is completely artificial. Its level of intelligence, does it violate the anti-artificial intelligence laws? No true intelligence is allowed. Only general intelligences, or what they call pseudo-intelligence, right? Because it's like just a clever program, not an actual sentience. And after a while, they finally got the go-ahead, and the beta series is out. And that's what you see on the poster behind, now in beta. And she just writes prototype FTW.
That's awesome, dude. This would be a cool shirt too. A cool like black shirt, This is probably just like a snippet of the whole image, or is it just like this?
That's actually the whole picture.
Okay, yeah, that would be cool on a shirt too, though. I like that.
Word. I actually sell a pair of socks on my Redbubble that have that.
Cool.
Yeah, I've sold a few pair. People are like, they're really good socks. I'm like, I know. I test all those products before I put them up for sale.
So there's that, and then I think let's see here. I got some more stuff I want to share too.
Word.
Let's see here.
I had a lot of fun developing this, and it's had its ups and downs. Like over the last 6 years since I kind of brought this forward, 7 years, almost 8. I've had to move so many times. We had a rough go at it for a while. I mean, things are stable now, but they were precarious for a few years. And so like scripts were lost, art was lost, and hard drives had errors and data was unrecoverable. I got hacked. And so the project suffered setbacks logistically because of all that stuff. But it was kind of a blessing because I do keep mnemonic devices. I have music playlists that I use as mnemonic devices to help remember everything.
Nice.
At least the key points. And because it is a futures history. Yeah. The key points are what's important because that's what shapes the future. And it's important that I get this out. I was going to go straight to the space opera, but I was like, you know what? No, I need to explain something first.
No, a lot of people love cyberpunk, dude. Like it's a real cool genre. Mm-hmm. Real dirty street, neon. A couple flying cars. Just the whole like 2000 AD. Blade Runner.
And I did, I did Scalpel Zero. That middle one right there, and the color one is I did Scalpel Zero versus Skyrim.
Oh, nice.
And turns out Skyrim didn't stand a chance. They never saw it coming. It was kind of hard to play because there's no bullet time in Skyrim, and the way that she perceives the world is a lot faster than us mere mortals.
That's awesome, man. And so you got some pictures right here. Is that her too, right there, blasting the gun?
No, that is Scalpel 12. Okay. That's one of the beta series, and she's being tested by the U.S. military.
And then you have some other cats right here too. Some robot, like some robot suits or something. Or
that is a Soviet Mityev Mark V. A full cyborg standing at about 7.5 feet tall.
Nice.
They are a nightmare. And then the dragon over there, that's from Paladin Dragoon, man. I'm so happy to be working on that, to be involved on that project. It's such a damn good book. I can't wait for it to come out.
Oh, that's awesome. What you got right here with this femme fatale walking away?
That is Neon Revenant. That is King Leek's Neon Revenant. Coming from Rock Hard Comics on the 4th of July.
And down here with this Pyramid of Bones. Who's this?
Yes, that's Scalpel Zero, and I did that one. I was programming an NES game, and I went back to the drawing board on it. I've got good solid code, and I have, dude. So over the course of the 2021 winter, I got a feather up my butt and decided I was going to learn how to do NES assembly programming.
Cool.
And so I put in all the program bare bones, right, for the all the functionality, basically the physics, right, without, it's not physics, but you get it. For like a Metroidvania style game.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to have her with this experimental laser rifle.
Oh shit.
That you can get power-ups for, but if she gets hit, she loses power-ups on it because she's a field prototype that field tests field prototypes. So things often don't always go her way. And they give it to her because she's real rough on the equipment. Like, if you want to see if it works, you hand it to the Marine, you hand it to her, and see which one breaks it first.
That's awesome.
And then we have Scalpel Claws done by Miki.
I like this one on the end too, with the grenade.
Oh yes,
key.
It's called Smile,
and that's Scalpel too.
Yeah, it is.
That's a cool one. Again, cool. That'd be a cool shirt design.
I do have plans to put that one out. I want to redo the hair though. I want it to be kind of cooler and flowier, even though she does have product that allows her hair to be kind of like that. Because, they field test all sorts of stuff on her. Cosmetics.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Because she does share a lot of similarities and compatibilities with human DNA, even though she's legally not human.
That's crazy.
This one is fun. It looks like this poor cop's gonna get smashed, but it's really, this guy's just angry and taking his ticket like a man.
I like this. Kind of gives me a little like Bolin feel a little bit.
Thank you,
Ryan Bolin. I like that.
Sometimes it's just to paint a little bit of the world.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
And I put stuff in the story as well. We might open a scene on something like this and move the scene to the main focus. Might pull a little bit of a Simpsons on you just for a little bit.
Keep just it fun and interesting.
Right. One, to take a step back, right? Because I probably just did something really intense, and you need a moment as a reader to kind of catch your breath. And so I'll ease you into the next section of the story sometimes.
Well, yeah, even like with horror, dude, right? Like, you got to put those comedic elements in there. That way, the next scene,
right?
It hits you so hard, and it just fucks with your emotions. You know what I mean? You need that palate cleanse, the peaks, the valleys, the ups and downs of the roller coaster in the storytelling.
Right. And without giving them emotional whiplash like a cheap as Sekai anime. It was like, I'm really angry. Armored in Excellence is the name of this picture.
I really like this one.
Thank you.
Be a cool sticker and t-shirt. And I would leave all those fucking lines in there on the left too. I'll leave all that in there.
Right. That's why I left them there.
Because it just looks like a design. Like, I don't know, like it even looks more sci-fi,
Right. Digitally I wanted to add a bunch of like words into it and stuff, and I would just want to touch up some of the proportions just a little bit digitally, a little warp mesh, but keep the original intact.
Cool. Like, damn, you really do got your own style, man. Like, just from judging your art.
Thank you.
From what I've seen, not tonight, but just a little bit tonight, but just from the stuff I've seen, I can't really put like an exact person like I could cite you after. Like, you definitely got your own. I feel like you got your own hatching style, man. Like it's like light feathering, man. Light hatching. Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, I love to get into hatching. I love 16th century woodcut art.
Me too, man. Like the English ones and the German ones.
Yeah.
Like the Vlad the Impaler, he's sitting there dipping his blood in the bread. You know what I'm talking about? They have a couple of those. The carvings.
Yeah, like I really get into that. I learned how to make that, right? Using, you do the wood cut, then and you use that's your mold for the clay, and then you got your clay slate, right? Or you use slate, like a slate slurry mix, right, to do a lithographic print. Like, I love the whole process of how they did that, and it's just something I got into when I first started getting really into commercial art. That's where most of my experience lies, is commercial art.
I love commercial art, man.
Like,
you're a real
really into
Renaissance
mundane
artist,
stuff.
You said you're a real Renaissance artist. There's
Thank
a
you.
few of them around here too that I've had on the show, and it's always cool, man. You guys are really inspiring. That could really do all that stuff. Like Preston Azevedo, he's a Renaissance artist too. He can do a little bit of everything, and that's one thing he told me too, man. Like, as soon as you can, learn as much as you can, like all the styles,
like Xevious, man.
The more you know, the more valuable you could do, and more stuff you could do. Like, someone needs this or that, you'll be able to take more jobs that way. I mean, it's common sense, but sometimes you got to be. I don't know, man. You got to be reminded of the commonality in sense.
Right. I followed Pablo Picasso's advice. I followed Pablo Picasso's advice, and that was learn the rules before you break them.
Yeah,
right.
That one too.
And this adage, I don't know where I heard it from, and I'm probably paraphrasing it horribly, but a person's personal style is the ultimate expression of their ignorance.
Yeah, there's that too. It sounds like the Neil Adams comment. You've probably heard the Neil Adams one too, right?
Probably was a Neil Adams comment.
Like all the imperfection in art is the person's style. Like, anything that's not 100%,
right?
Perfectly drawn or whatever, like to realistic, proportions or whatnot.
Right.
Or in realism, that is your style.
Yeah. It's your personal style. Like, you take a look at like an artist like Doc Blalock, right? And he's a fine artist. He's a master.
Yeah.
Like, he's a legit master.
Yeah.
With masterpieces. And you take a look at his paintings, his environmental paintings, and you take a look at his art, and it's like, these are two different people.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like, his comic book side and then the fine art side.
Right. And I see it as, and Doc can correct me if I'm wrong, but I see it as like, when he's doing the fine art, right, he's capturing life. When he's doing the line art, it's himself. He's putting himself into it, right? More, I feel.
Yeah.
And I love both. I absolutely do. I'm a huge fan of his stuff.
Yeah, I just like art in general. You know what I mean? As long as I like it.
Right.
I like art as long as I like it. But I mean, I like a lot. I mean, I like Bob Ross.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, I used to watch Bob Ross. I still can't do landscapes for the damn.
I like fuck, dude. There's a lot of artists too. Like, I forgot his name, man. I don't know. There's a lot of like painters and artists I like that. I forgot the dude's name. I think he's French. I can't remember. He does a lot of like angels and demons and stuff like that. He always does like pencil like ink work. It's one word. Right. It's like Druid or Drouet or something. I can't fucking pronounce his name. But yeah, man. Do you think you could give us a little synopsis about? I mean, we've been talking about Dub, but I mean, just a little bit more synopsis about Apex Predator.
So Apex Predator, 6-issue miniseries that establishes the Scalpel Zero as a character. Okay. The plot is as follows: that it starts with betrayal. Zero is being hunted by foreign national corporations, and it starts with a betrayal that leads her down a rabbit hole of why are they trying to get her and not one of the new models, right? And it goes on a wild, just really messed up adventure that takes us from the San Francisco Bay Area to Central America, and I end up blowing up Detroit.
Oh fuck! Yeah, that's where my family's from.
Uh-oh. Well,
my grandpa was a cop from there. No, they're not there anymore. They're here. I mean,
they got 40 years to move out.
They're dead now, so.
Oh, okay.
But that was back in the day. Dude, when you're telling me this, you know, it's weird. Like I'm getting these like acetate. I'm getting like an acetate cover in my head of her, you know, and there's like microchips on the side, and like you're turning it open and you're seeing all these different colors.
Oh, dude.
I don't know why. Like this shit just kind of popped in my head right now when you're describing it.
I would love to do something like that, like one of those anatomy layers. Just
to
kind of go through like all the systems, the different layers of skin that she has, and I communicate like all the tech is
dude.
It's communicated and shown.
And like I see one of the layers is like a foggy, like thick plastic layer. I don't know why. But one of them kind of like I don't know why that popped in my head because you're describing it, and sometimes ideas just pop in my head for no reason.
Yeah. Dude. Cool. No, I like it. And dude, that layer right there, that could, you know, she's got, you know, she's basically has a built-in Faraday cage in her skin, with biomolecular copper.
That's dope. I think of the T600s from Terminator Salvation and like the replicants when you're talking, they have rubber skin, you know.
Right. You know, and she's got like it's real fleshy skin, it's biological material, but it's interwoven with other things, which kind of gives it a unique pallor.
That's cool.
And you know, there's always like, you know, she's a field prototype, and so
talking about this shit. Like you hear stuff like with cyberpunk, but they don't really go into the skin, like into the organs and the actual the product.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. The product of the cyborg. You know.
We look at her and we do communicate in the first book that she's over $500 billion of research.
Fuck.
Over 10 years.
Wow.
And this has netted for the U.S. Industries, right? Trillions of dollars. The medical technologies that come out of her, the cybernetics, prosthetics. Sometimes they'll just take off a limb just to try to test a new cyber. Yeah.
No, your product. I could already it's already formulating in my hand. It's like in my head, like what's going to be going on. You know what I mean?
We're going to replace the heart. We're going to replace the lungs. We're going to put new vat-grown lungs in there that are super efficient that we can transplant into an athlete or a special forces person and make them better.
Right? They need her,
right?
And there's probably 4 conglomerates that fucking threw in on her, right?
Yeah, she is a technological singularity. Right, where it is the meeting of flesh and machine, and that is one of the singularities that we have coming up. Like more often than not, we talk about the AI singularity, and that's in the past. That's in the past for where she's at.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you were talking about an actuality, not the book. But like,
no, its name was Midas, and it was supposed to help. It was supposed to help regulate and balance world trade, and it crashed the economy in 48 hours.
Oh fuck! See, like that's what I like. You're a smart guy, man, and I know that. Like, oh man, this book could really blow up, dude. I can tell. Like, I can't wait to back it. I know I'm going to back it. When did you say that you're going to launch? Like, you know,
I wanted to launch before the new year.
Yeah.
Right. And just do a 30-day flash campaign on Fund My Comic.
Okay.
Put it out zine style. So it's got like a nice cardstock cover, right?
Right.
And with good, like really cool, like puffy ink.
Yeah.
You know, something that's got a little texture to it, like a good underground zine, right?
Yeah.
And good, solid, uncoated paper on the inside.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, something good, but inexpensive. Right, that's the key for me.
No, that's brilliant, dude. And you're thinking about that? Is that what you're thinking about?
Yeah, like for like the collector's edition, right? For a collector's version, which would be a stretch goal.
Okay.
Because I would want to see that there's enough interest to warrant me reaching out to a collector's market. Like that one would be like acid free and matte coated pages and, you know, glow in the dark holographic yogurt covered.
Like to me, like there's something like that could be good about both. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like for me, it's like I want that street fucking 90s like gritty, you know, as you spoke of just now. But then there's a part where it's like, it could kind of go like top dollar with all the bells and whistles because of the way that it pertains to the story. Like with the die cut covers and the fucking all that stuff, like with colors and with all the neons and I'm We're talking to the wrong guy about this because it goes good both ways. No fucking shit, dude. It really does. Like
and black and white, grayscale. Like I've got some great grayscale pens that I'm going to color it with, and the intention is after this is a 6-issue miniseries with a double-sized finale.
Nice.
So issue number 6 going to be a nice, good 48-page book. They're up between 20 and 24 pages a book.
That's good.
Of story content.
Nice comic
with a little bit of extras. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a color insert in the center, stapled in, right?
Ooh,
so
nice.
That way you open it up and you got like a little piece of artwork, but you can always deface your comic
I'm really excited
go put that on your wall.
Like I'm excited for like the whole like the paper you're talking about, the thick just like the thick you're saying cardstock paper.
Yeah, like a good something like good 90 weight,
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I think it's going to be like a real collector's item. You know what I mean?
And I don't even know if the paper's acid free. I don't know if the ink is acid free. It was inexpensive because I'm trying to get this comic out for less than $3 retail, and
right.
I have to take into account. Okay, so if I put 10 of these in a box, how much is that going to cost me to ship it?
Right.
All right. Take that cost, divide it by 10. That's how much I have to produce, and then add another 25%, right? So you give that 20% profit margin for the store, and then whatever's left over of that cover price, that's my budget per book.
No,
I have to get it there.
Good idea, man. And because I mean, it's got a lot of allure from like the '90s. It kind of hits the zine thing, kind of hits the manga thing. It's you've put a lot of years behind it, a lot of thought went into it. Like a wellspring of thought. The art is fucking dope. It's fucking gonna be dope in black and white, and it's like, I don't think you can go wrong with that. Good way to test it out without, you know what I mean? Like it is not a bad that is. And you said in January, right?
Yeah, tentatively January 14th. That way I can end the campaign on February 13th, which is 2 days before we launch Omniverse Incursion.
Okay, and that's
the tabletop
game, right?
game.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
and she'll be in the game, right?
Yeah, and Scalpel Zero will be available in the game. She's
Are you gonna have an ad for that in the book?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. You got it.
Yeah,
it's got to be like a big ass ad too. She's got to be her like figure, like motherfucker. I'm gonna fuck your shit up.
I've got like her, and I've got like Neon Remnant, and I've got a Canadian Shield from Rick Piper, Cross Comics.
Oh yeah, dude, I kicked it with that fool like 2 months ago.
Oh, dude, I love Rick, man. He's the whole reason I'm on YouTube.
He gave me some comics, bro. I got to read them. We were over at Dillard's. He had a barbecue over there.
Oh, cool.
Love Dillard, man. Such a fucking sweetheart, man. Yeah, the carne asada, burgers, fucking
hell yeah,
lotes. We were chilling, dude. Then he had another party, another little barbecue. I couldn't go though. I had to take the kids to the water park, but yeah, man. I fucking
Rick's my homie, man. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy, man. That's cool.
Yes,
so the Canadian Shield, huh? I can't wait to read that book. I gotta read it because when I read books, dude, I can't just read a comic. I need to like cut it again. I have to cut out like 3 or 4 hours for me to do a comic because I do the comic and I do a review in one take and boom, I just like immerse myself in that out of body like fucking disconnection of work and creating comics too, because that is just has to be. I go all into the book, as much as I can, as much as my little brain can.
Well, and because Rick, he recently lost his mother, and he's a trooper, but he's having a rough go at it. And so I sat down and I originally had 6 creators in for Omniverse Incursion. I'm like, okay, that's 30 models. Cool. That's plenty. And then what happened with Rick, and I was like, you know what? I went to my board for the company and I said, hey, yada, yada, yada. I want to get this guy in. Is that okay with you guys? And they're like, yeah, can we still meet production deadline? We had a big grown-up business meeting about it. It was like, okay, yeah, we could do this. We'll just extend the delivery date a little bit. And then so I went to Rick and I was like, hey, man, I want to get you some passive income here. Here's what we're doing. We're all splitting because everybody has the same number of characters.
That's cool, man.
And all this stuff. So we're all splitting the licensing portion of the dividends. Right.
Yeah.
So the licensing portion, we're doing an even split across the board.
That's how I'm doing it with Brian. We're just gonna work on our book. I'm like, hey, let's do it this way. I'm like, no, let's just do it 50-50. You know,
good.
Like, I don't know. It's just real easy for me. Like that's how I roll. You know what I mean? Real fucking easy.
Good, clean, simple math. Well, I built the company that we're building. It's me. It's World War Dan. We've got Paul Roper. We've got Lord Sandwich. King Leak is in on this, and we've got a couple other people.
Right there. Then you got to start splitting it up, but just like equal split. Like that's just the way I like to do it. You know what I mean? And that way it kind of takes the drama out too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and
then on top of that, then everybody's on board and everybody has an equal like share in it, and so they equally give a fuck about it equally. Equal give a fucks. Equal give a fucks.
Yeah. Exactly. So it doesn't matter if you didn't sell a single figure. If your character wasn't a draw, you're in. It's a little bit of communism, but it's capital communism.
It is what it is. It's like
And so that way, Rick, that way, all Rick has to do is give me turnarounds. That's all he has to do.
That's cool, man.
Right. Yeah. And if he wants to supply more artwork, we've got, see, it's Omniverse Incursion and World War Hell are kind of grouped together. They have the same development team, artists and stuff like that. We've got over a dozen artists. Indie artists. I've been picking up dudes like from all over the place. I've got this kid. He just turned 18 from Texas.
Yeah.
And he's just knocking it out, and he's growing because he's working. He's making money. Dude,
there's a lot of cats out there, like fucking 16, 17, 8-year-olds just fucking blowing motherfuckers out of the water. Like they just really tuned in. Like they're studying. Like that. To me, that's how I probably would have been if I wasn't partying in high school. You know what I mean? Because I was doing art, but I was partying hard. If I would have just stuck to my art more, I think I would have been a little better than I am now.
We've got like Chibi Selena. That's our Chibi artist. That's our. We go to her. Yeah, she's like we threw a bunch of money on her, and we're like, hey, we want to put this money on account. Is that okay? And let us know if your rates changed. We just want to have this money on account. So that way, and we got a couple of things with the money on account, and she's professional and she's organized and just absolutely a delight to work with.
That's awesome, man.
It's a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean?
Sure, dude. That's cool. You got that. You gotta have that. Gotta have that stuff. I love hearing stuff like that. What you're doing. Also with the Sim with Ink Slayer. The Comics Way guys.
Dude, yeah.
Cool to have a little team of your boys, you know what I mean? Your boys and your gals,
Yeah, it's finding good people to work with that you can open up with a handshake agreement and then go move to paperwork.
And possibly be like, hey, maybe you could tweak this right here and then not get all
right. And we do our handshake agreements in messaging services that are subpoenable by law, right? So if there were a dispute, that they could be brought up in court and gone through and debated at that point, right? Not that we predict that any of this would happen, but you got to prepare for that content.
It's business, dude. Shit happens.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're all having fun, but it is business, and it should be treated as such.
Well, like when Tank Ferret Presents was joined up with Brain Cage for a short bit, and then that kind of fell apart, and I had to work out a divorce deal to divorce the IPs from these other creators.
Yeah.
And then we had to rebuild those IPs from the ground up.
Yeah, it takes time, dude, and the time fucking flies. You know, I was talking with Ryan. Like once you get a certain age, like the concept of time, I believe it just changes from like when you were a kid. You know, like for me, sorry, but a 6 months is a year. Like a year feels like 6 months. Like I'm not fucking around. Like it literally feels like 6 months. And like I don't fucking get it. And so like a week is like a month is like a week for me. Sometimes 2 weeks, you know, but it's about a week or 2 weeks is a month. That's how fast my brain kind of conceptualizes it or conceive or you know, forget the word, but yeah, that's how I see it, you know, interpret it.
Yeah. No, it's true though. It's true.
Right. It's just, you know, we got to, and it's hard to build these IPs, and, you know, we got to tell these stories. And, you know, like for me, my main focus right now, man, is to just kind of like, I really want to like tell as many stories as I can. Yeah, dude, I want to tell a lot of stories, and I want to draw as many of them as I can. And hopefully one day, like I'll bring people on with me if I'm lucky that way, you know, and hire artists and, you know, writers. Cause I'm not a writer, but I do write. So I'll bring on co-writers, you know, but I do have stories and I have pitches and things like that. And that shit I want to tell, you know?
Right.
So yeah, man, that's my main goal, dude. And like right now, black and white, you know, that's the way to do it, you know. And I heard people telling me that like a long time ago. I'm like, fuck off. I'm not gonna do that.
It's cheap to print, man.
It is, dude.
It's the reason why most manga is in black and white, because the Japanese method is to throw it at the wall.
You know, all the kids, they're all reading the fucking black and white. They're not like, fuck this. You know, even if they picked up the comic, they'd be like, this isn't manga. And they're not going to be mad that it's black and white, though. You know, they're not going to be like, this isn't in color. They're not going to trip on it, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, with manga, here's something that an observation that I have on with manga, why it's so successful, is that the younger readers today, one, they want character progression. They want to see a character grow. They don't want Batman to be boring Batman for 30 years.
And they don't want him to like reboot every what year, I guess?
Yeah. No, they want to see Batman get his back broken. They want to see Dick Grayson stop being a whiny teenager, grow up, become the next Batman, and eventually get to Batman Beyond.
That's my favorite.
Broken old Bruce Wayne.
Dude, that's my favorite. I mean, that's my favorite Bat story, is the whole Nightfall thing. Like, I love that. I was talking to a guy at work about this, you know. I'm like, and he's just a normie, and I'm like, you know, and he's like younger guy, probably 24, and I'm always working with younger guys. You know, I'm the older guy, and you hear like different perspectives and shit. And I'm like, he's like, what's your favorite? You know, a lot of these fools know stuff just from TikTok and Instagram and YouTube shorts about the stories. You know, like year one, The Dark Knight Rises. You know, Nightfall. You know, like they'll start dropping. You know. The Killing Joke, and they know about the Bat stories now. And I'm like, dude, my favorite one's Nightfall, man. Like the Bane, you know, Batman getting his back broken and coming back, and Jean-Paul Valley making all these dope ass bat suits. You know, I fucking love that. That was my shit.
The power suits, and
Dick Grayson fighting for the fucking Battle of the Cowl with them, you know, and then him fucking Bane up, and then Bruce Wayne coming back, you know, and like all that inspired me. And I'm like, I loved it. I wrote my own little Bat story, because I think most people have a Batman story in them. Like someone said that, and I do agree that like a lot of people like Batman, dude, and everyone's got a Batman story.
Well, that's why I've got Scalpel Zero, because she is a master detective, and you get to enjoy that as a reader.
Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah,
because I love Batman. I do. I love Batman. I grew up in a Superman family, like specifically a Superman family.
Oh, okay.
And
Superman's dope too. I started liking Superman later on in life. Before I would just that was the first movie I seen, and I loved it as a kid, you know, for Batman even. And I was just like, he's cool. But later on, I'm like, dude, he's got like four personas and shit, you know?
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, no, and Superman should have stayed dead. It would have been great. And to see somebody rise to the challenge of being Superman.
Oh, dude, I love Death of Superman too. That's another book. Like I'm like, dude, am I one of those motherfuckers that just didn't read them? Like, no, I had a lot of comics when I was a kid. I had Death of Superman, like Sabretooth. I had these like there's a lot of books, and I still got them, you know. But I love the Death of Superman, you know, and I just like Doomsday, the whole like beginning, like where he's just pounding on the thing, and then the bird comes out, you know, and he's in that suit, and I love the art. I think it's Dan Jurgens that drew that one.
Yeah, Dan Jurgens,
and that was always like I loved his Superman, like the way he drew that, and Doomsday was a big influence on me, and I love the rise of the 4 Supermen. I always thought that was so fucking cool, like, and I really liked I always like Cyborg, Superman, and Steel.
Dude, Steel's that's my man right there, dude.
I just thought he was cool. Steel. Like he's like making his shit, and and
he's moral, he's righteous, he's a good guy. Like if anybody was worthy of carrying the cape, I felt it was him.
Yeah, and he was a real dude,
because he was. He's a man in a power suit. And people are like, "Oh, he's just super Iron Man," and it's like, no, he's not. He's
blue collar Iron Man kind of in a way. I think.
He's got power armor for sure, but it's just strength and durability and flying.
And it's not like he's Tony Stark, like growing up in a fucking lap of luxury. Like he's actually just like a regular dude on the street, Ooh,
yeah, some dude that, and I love that it's a callback because Superman actually did save him in a comic book. And he was just some rando. He was a rando.
Yeah.
Falling off of a construction site.
And he looked cool, dude. The character looked cool.
Yeah.
And I saw the movie. I remember the movie. I remember it coming out, but I never watched it.
It was so bad, but I still loved it.
As fuck. It actually made me really mad because I wanted to see his whole fucking mug like solid metal chrome, or titanium.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see that. I'm like, I don't want to see your face, and I want to be like, hey, what's up? Steel. Like
that's why Michael Jai White is my favorite. Superhero actor because he wore the disgusting prosthetics. He wore the mask.
I got something for you, bro. All right, so check it out. And I'll bring this up whenever I get that. Like like there's an opportunity and you just go. So like, all right, you can't remake Blade, right, without Wesley Snipes, right?
No, you can't.
That's my favorite Marvel movie is Blade 1 and 2. Like fucking then probably like Winter Soldier. Like I don't know, depends. Catch me on a certain day of the week. Incredible Hulk,
right?
But Blade 1 and 2, that's my shit, right? So I would never remake Blade with fucking, Wesley Snipes. I would take Michael Jai White and I would do the 70s version. It would be all street and with a little bit of blaxploitation thrown in, like Black Dynamite or that new like cowboy one he's doing, Yeah. And you would have like the big yellow sunglasses, the green fucking, like the green jacket with the big collar, the brown pants, and he was just dropping one-liners, staking motherfuckers, doing kung fu and shit, like all that badass shit he does, like for his like, his underground martial arts movies. Yeah, what's up, Mermaid? How you doing?
What's up, Mermaid? What's up?
Oh, you never even saw Blade? Yeah. So go check out
worth
Blade.
Watching.
Go check out Blade and Blade 2. They're the best Marvel movies ever made. I promise. They're rated R. Blade has the best opening scene in any Marvel movie. It'll get you.
Dude, for real.
Very rated R, but that first Blade movie, and it's very street. The first one's very street. The second one is made by Guillermo del Toro. So, and that was my introduction to Guillermo del Toro was Blade 2, and it got me into like Hellboy, and that was when he kind of started blowing up with Pan's Labyrinth and all of his his style of filmmaking that he made. So definitely go check out Blade 1 and 2. Hard fucking recommend. But yeah, man, anytime I can get that opportunity to talk about, dude, this is the Blade pitch. This is what hopefully someone's watching. Yeah, vampires, definitely. Blade's a vampire hunter. So I know I've seen all the stuff with Wesley Snipes, all the documentaries, behind the scenes stuff on the special features because I have the DVDs. I got the Blade 2 toy still in the packaging with the motorcycle, and he's just talking about all his influence that he put into like the fight choreography and the style and all the different stuff. It's just so him, like it's irreplaceable, dude. Like even I think it was part of his idea to give him all black and black leather and whatnot. It was because it looks better than the 70s shit. It looks better, but it's been done. And even Sticky Fingers tried to do it, and that shit was fucking lame. So
yeah,
go back to the other stuff. Let's see something new and fresh. Let it breathe. Do something else to maybe go back to that like 20 years from now. With a cool actor that's got his own shit, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So somebody who's got their shit together.
Well, thanks everybody.
Hey, good to see you, Mermaid.
Yeah, man. So I gotta know, man, what's your favorite movie?
That's a tough one. It's honestly a toss-up.
No, that's fine. Most people, it's a toss-up. If you can't pick one,
it's a three-way tie.
Then three.
I would say it's a three-way tie between Alien, Blade Runner, and Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Oh shit! Okay. A lot of people pick Blade Runner. Like you wouldn't believe it. Like that's a big one. Like because I always ask people when they come on. It's Blade Runner and Gladiator.
I'll watch any version of Blade Runner. I don't care.
Do you think he's a replicant? Harrison Ford, Deckard.
Right? Yeah, I do. And they collapsed that wave function with the new Blade Runner movie, which I didn't. I've kind of felt it was like visually, it didn't have that Sid Mead originality, kind of like the new Dune series. It was like, oh, okay, this is like
that director's version of it.
It was like deviant art from like a few years ago. Like, this is not the current trend. You know, if you're going to go with trends, like, you're going with an old trend here. You're not doing anything.
You know what I found about those two movies? They're missing like a lot of dirt. Like a lot of dirt and grime.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel the dirt and grime. Like, I felt that in like a lot of dirt, grime, humidity, smoke, dankness about both of those movies. Like on the street, when you're walking in the street, when you're down like in those pits with Sting, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could feel, like you could smell it. It's gross and dirty and grimy. Like it felt really clean. It looks cool, but it's not as dirty feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dusty. It needs dusting. The old Blade Runner was like you didn't want to step in those streets, dude. Like, everything was wet and gross.
Yeah, dude. You ever seen Split Second?
No, I don't know if I have. That's one that came across me. I was like, yes. Okay. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Go check it out again, dude. We did that on Home Movie Club. Fucking dope. It's like a Frank Miller, like.
It's the wonders of having TBI is I get to watch old movies again for the first time.
Oh, dude, all I watch is Tubi, bro. I fucking go back and all I watch is the old movies, man. Like, they're just so rich, you know.
Yeah, but we only have the subscription services to keep the kids away from advertising.
Oh man, like, you know what's weird too? It's like, for me, like, whenever I leave the room, the ads that I don't like come on, and they influence my kids, and they fucking know. It's weird. Like, me and my like, dude, why is it whenever we leave the room, this shit comes on? It's fucking weird.
Oh, sorry, 1 second.
It's always on YouTube. Yeah, man. So I don't know. I watch a lot of the free stuff, and a lot of those free like channels like Freevee and Tubi. I'm watching Tubi all the time. I do got some free fucking Disney Plus, though. I ain't gonna lie. I don't pay for that shit. I got it free. So.
Yeah, sorry about that. That was Dadland. One of my sons was woken up by my youngest, who wanted a snack, and I was like, "Can you hook her up, dude?"
Oh yeah, don't you love it when the other kid hooks up the little older one?
Yeah, well, we kind of do that. I borrowed a little bit culturally from the Samoans. You know, where it's like, yeah, no, I'm teaching you, you teach the next, and I teach the next, and we work together, and that helps you grow as a person. And my poor daughter, she's 19, right? And dude, we worked her to the bone. But it's kind of like that whole principle of like boot camp basic training, right?
Yeah, it's like a team, you know.
I make it hard so that way the actual experience is easy by comparison.
Oh yeah, definitely. You're like, oh wow, it ain't that bad. Fuck.
Yeah, within she got a job at McDonald's, and within 5 months she's a shift manager.
Fuck yeah, man. And they make they're going to be starting to make pretty good money over here, dude. I heard they're making like 20 something an hour.
Holy moly. Yeah, she's making over 15 an hour out here, but
that's pretty good out there, no?
Yeah, the town that I live in, it's a large town, with a population of 15,000 people.
That's not that much. That's a small town.
No,
like out here, small town's like 65,000, you know?
Yeah. Small town in Los Angeles is like 100,000 people.
Glendale,
it's a small city with 1 million people.
I live in Bellflower. Okay. It's probably around that, you know, and like, then it's Long Beach right next door, and Compton's over
Santa
there.
Santa Clarita has more people.
Yeah. No, I mean, but me and my wife, we want to move out of here, dude. Like, we're down to bounce, bro. Like, I was talking to Joe Ball. Like, he lives in like Cincinnati or something. Like, fuck, that's another cat, dude, that fucking has his own style. Like there's a lot of dudes that are fucking dope, dog. Like, dope ass artists. I wish I could draw like, but they'll kind of look like somebody. Like, their style like isn't 100% their own, you know. But some people, like, but you, man, you got your own style. So does
Thank you.
So does Joe. Like, there's Jason Bascom, Preston Azevedo. It's good. It's a cool thing.
Yeah, I love Joe Ball's work, man. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan. I plugged the hell out of Death because I saw that and I was just like,
hey, dude.
Dude.
Yeah. No, he's my boy, man. Him and Shane. And I remember, dude, me and him were live streaming. We used to do like a little show for like a little bit, like maybe a month or something. And I was like, hey, bro, you got to put up that fucking death book. You know what I mean? Like, people want that shit, you know? Because I remember, like, back in the day, like, they were talking about that shit, like, on, like, drawn and quartered and shit, you know? And just showing, like, the drawings and stuff like that. Like, dude, this shit's fucking metal, man. Like, it has all this crazy, like, biblical stuff mixed with Transformers and manga. Like, oh, man, fucking... And I was like, dude, just fucking dude, you got to put that book out, bro. Like, people want that
for real.
Shit. Like that.
And you talk about
that
heavy
like,
metal.
Care. And like, like if I feel something about something like out of place, like things I shouldn't say, I'll fucking say it sometimes, especially with like a couple of drinks in me, you know, and like, I don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? Like I just kind of, that's just who I am, dude. You know what I mean? Like the awkward guy, you know, but I speak the truth, you know?
Hey, I respect a person who's got a healthy case of foot and mouth disease.
But at the same time, man, I'm a fucking Swiss. I'm a Swiss, you know, I'm Switzerland over here. Like I'm not
right.
I stick to my shit. I don't fight with nobody online. I don't fucking pick no fights. I do my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
No, I appreciate that.
Work. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
And that's something I learned working in the industry that I'm at, you know? And my boss told me, I'm like, hey, how come this guy's doing this? And fucking da-da-da. He's like, what did he tell me? It was real simple. He just said, stop worrying about other fucking people and worry about your fucking self. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm just like,
yeah,
I guess
don't race the racers.
It's real basic terminology, you know, even though he was, you know, I was right in what I was pulling up. But at the same time, it's like, maybe you do need to worry about yourself. Stop worrying about everybody else so fucking much, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, it's this adage that when I was a kid, my mom was friends with a NASCAR driver, Willie T. Ribbs. And he was like, he and you know, I got to sit in his car and all that cool stuff. But he, I think it was the second year that I went out to the Sears Point for the Sears 500, and we went to go hang out with him. And he's like, oh, I'm gonna give you some advice. He goes, in life, don't race the other racers. Race the track.
Makes
the
sense.
Other racers are just a part of the track.
Yeah.
Don't hit them. Don't run into them. You know, race nice. And I was like, okay. And that really stuck with me. It really stuck with me. You know, don't race the racers, race the track.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like the same thing. Like kind of, you know, like you're just focusing on the try not to hit the walls. You know what I mean? And these motherfuckers are zooming by you and they're just about to hit you, but they don't. And they go around and they don't fuck with you either. Because you're there, you're like, I'm not gonna hit the wall. I'm not gonna hit the wall. I'm hitting the turn. I'm in the turn. I'm not gonna hit the wall. I'm not gonna blow up. You know. But these motherfuckers, they're just kind of coming around and they're just about to hit you, but they don't hit you. They just kind of go around. You know.
Meanwhile, you got some dudes who's like running around like it's a demolition derby.
Yeah. And it's like, oh man, like I don't know, like people got to do what they kind of do. They got to do. You know what I mean? So I just try to.
It's much like the shell of a stock car. You know, is made of fiberglass. Your company is fragile.
Yeah.
One wrong impact could end the race for you.
Oh, totally. Dude.
And you were talking about like people had fallen off and people had dropped out, and it's like, they wrecked their car.
Some people
sometimes
wreck their car.
through bad business decisions. I've seen a few campaigns that were like, oh yeah, no, flexible goal, and they didn't hit their goal, and they find themselves in a lot of trouble. Now their project is late. They're paying for it out of pocket. They're operating at a net loss.
Well, Tank, there's that 100%. But then there's also people that like delivered dope ass product, bro, and they fulfilled.
Yeah.
But like they probably just got like, maybe they just got like 50 backers, or maybe, you know, like everybody wants that 100 mark, but maybe the 100 wasn't there, or they got 75, and they just fucking poof. They just bounced. It was not enough for them, you know?
Yeah.
And
Or like MANTICORE, the creator of Skunk Girl, one of the early CG books to be put out, right?
Mm-hmm.
He put out issue number 1, and it was supposed to be a 4-issue miniseries, and he was going to do like a mini graphic novel, about 80 to 90 pages a piece.
Oh fuck!
And the first one took him about a year, and he was just like, at the end of it, he was like, I'm not going to do this.
Yeah, fuck that.
he was like, I gotta, I neglected he was like, I neglected my family,
Yeah.
and it was like,
you got to find
like,
the
you're
time
a
to
good
not
dad.
neglect them, and then you're gonna neglect them a little bit no matter what.
Yeah,
the tiny bit you are. It sucks
because he's got a secure income. He makes super soldiers for the government.
Oh, nice.
That's our cover story.
Universal
We actually
soldier,
cannot talk about what he does for a living.
That's some fucking Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Reckoning, fucking reborn. Shit,
and he put out this book, and much like Doc Blalock, he's a fine artist who went into comics, and like he redrew the whole book 3 times. Like he leveled up as an illustrator.
No, I've seen it like with the Deathsworn. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I was happy with his style from the get. Like his new style is way better, but it's not like I'm gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Like it's way better, but I would have been happy with what he had before. And they're a little different, to be honest.
Right.
But I fucking love his style, both of his styles, and I would have been happy.
Manny will be back. He'll be back. He'll bring Skunk Girl back, but he's waiting for the right time. You know what I mean? Like he's got the schedule worked out now. He's waiting for for the economy to improve, and then he'll be back because he knows he's going to put out a big book and it's not going to be cheap. And
he's got to find that.
He's a good person. He's a genuinely good person, and he cares about you, even though he doesn't know you. He's like, no, you shouldn't be spending money like this. You know what? I'm just going to make that decision for you. I'm not doing it.
No, that's good, man.
And I was like, you're too nice.
No, I mean, like you gotta be nice, but then you gotta, like for me, I feel like you gotta kind of be around a little bit too. You know what I mean? Like always be around. Yeah. Maybe pop up in a chat. Pop up in a live stream every now and then, talk some shit, say what's up. How's it going? Boys? What's up? Drop some art. I try to drop a little piece of art every once a week, even if it's a panel or something. You know what I mean? Or, I don't know, man, because I don't have any books out right now. You know what I mean? So,
right.
And then I do the shows. I try to bring people on so we could talk about their books. It's fun for me. I get to build my channel up too. I get new subscribers.
Heck yeah!
So it's
make sure you smash that like button and hit that bell to receive all notifications. Don't forget to share this out on your favorite social media platform.
Right.
If you don't have a favorite social media platform, put it on your least hated social media platform.
Fuck this guy.
Put it on all your social media platforms. Do it now.
You got it, man.
Fix it. Fix it now.
I just feel like that's just the way that we got to do it. And I just feel like if I just keep creating stuff that I love and never stop, eventually it might find an audience. You know what I mean? I just think
if you like it, share it.
Yeah.
If you think it's good, then it's
that's
worth
the main
sharing.
thing, dude. You know what I mean? Like if you really enjoy what you're doing and you think it's funny and you show it to some other people and they're like, all right, cool, maybe tweak that. And then, and a few people, show it to like 3 people you trust that aren't going to kiss your ass. And then maybe show it to somebody that's not into comics and they read it and they're like, oh, okay, I get it. That's fucking easy. That's another test, dude. Give it to someone that has no idea what a comic is.
Yeah, get yourself a group of beta readers that is a diverse lot. And I don't mean that by the shallow definition of diversity that the wokies use. I mean like you're saying, people who don't read comics, people who stopped reading comics, people who avidly read comics, people who only read manga. Like in one of the MMOs I play, Phantasy Star Online 2, I play with a bunch of weeps because it's an anime game. Yeah. And so I was like, hey, hey guys, I'm not gonna. I already told them. I was like, look, I don't shit where I eat. Yeah. And so I was like, look, whenever I put out a book or something like that, I'm just gonna drop a copy in the. I'm gonna drop a PDF here in our Discord. Right. You guys get the book for free. If you want a physical copy, I can't help you out with that. You're gonna have to buy it. But if you just want to read it, go ahead. And, some guys, I put some ash cans in there as I was developing the art style for the story. And, got some good feedback.
That's cool, dude.
I even had a guy who was like, normally I hate Western comics, but I actually enjoyed this. And
I love Westerns. That's
he's one of our guild assholes who,
wow.
He's an end game, ultra powered up, kind of gamer. Yeah. And he is not shy about telling you your shit's whack, yo.
I like people that do that, like that don't do it just for other reasons, except for the fact that I need them to tell me their honest opinion of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I like that. You know what I mean? Like, hey, dude, you're fucking, this shit's off. Like, why is the gun was in the right hand? Why is it in the left hand? I don't know. Like, what the fuck's going on? This shit doesn't make any. I don't know. Like, there's a multitude of things. You know what I mean? So it's
like my first portfolio review from Neil Pierce. I remember this guy, short, balding Neil Pierce. He was doing submissions at WonderCon in 1990.
Damn.
No, this is back when it was in Jack London Square.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A few years before, I met this young guy with this comic called She. And like
Billy Tucci. That's another guy. Yeah. That's another guy I try to model my shit after now. Like,
and he had hardly anybody was coming over to his booth, and I couldn't understand it. It was like early in the day, and hardly anybody was there. But I would, I hung out with him for a little bit, and that's the only interaction I've ever had with Billy Tucci, outside of maybe on Twitter. But dude, stand up guy, and I'm glad that he stayed an awesome guy. I really am. I'm so happy to see that.
Billy Tucci is he is one of the guys that when I first discovered YouTube, right? Like I was working on my comic and whatnot, and I was like, dude, I need to step up my art game. And I've told the story a million times. I always tell it as much as I can. I need to find some drawing videos. So I came upon Ethan Van Sciver, and somehow it recommended me to crowdfunding comics, or I found out about that, and I went to that, and that's how I learned about Billy Tucci. And I was always watching that show and kind of commenting in the chats and whatnot. And yeah, man, I got to go and pimp my book on that show 1 or 2 times, and it was just always nice. I never talked to Billy before. It was always Niall's fucking sweetheart, awesome dude. Me and him shared a similar background. So I got to kind of bond with that guy on a couple of topics, because again, we worked in a similar profession. And yeah, dude, but Billy, man, he's always just like a nice guy, you know what I mean? And I like the way he runs his business and the way he treats people, and very respectful, very stand up. So yeah, him and Graham and yeah, man, Bancroft, they got their shit together, and I don't know, man. I got to pick up some She books. I haven't got it. I don't have any of them.
Dude. So She, this is an interesting little bit of Tank Ferret lore. Sorry, I'm choking to death on my own spit. Don't put that in my obituary. Say I did something, I doing something cool, like, punching a train. Something cool. All right, so She, I met him. I was like, I don't know, maybe 14 or 15. It was like She just came out.
Crazy.
Now, to be fair, I've got TBI, right? Traumatic brain injury. So, just
dude, hey,
like when I got back from Iraq,
you don't sound like it, bro. You're fucking. I would not know that you do that.
Oh, well, thank you. When I got back from Iraq, I went to a big get together with all the guys I was going to college with and all my friends over the years and stuff that I hadn't seen, right, in 5 years. And I didn't remember half of them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, it dawned on me. I was like, wait a minute. I don't remember a lot of things. Most of my life is wait, what?
Ah, okay.
So But anyway, so that's why I'm a little hazy on dates and times and stuff like that. Like I have this recollection of in the moment, but I can't tell you what year it took place. I had this character named She, but spelled S-H-E. And it was a villain, and it was because it was she who is evil, it was she who will kill you, edgy teenager, edgelord 90s nonsense, right? And late 80s, early 90s, I was into heavy metal magazine and Judge Dredd, and so I came with this villain. That character She, I picked that up more like a decade or so later, and actually that is the character that became Scalpel Zero.
Oh wow, that's fucking
and
crazy.
I was talking to him like, are you cool with this? Because I was hanging out with like indie art, underground scene. I grew up knowing Julia Schwartz, so I was like behind the scenes at comics. I remember when I brought my first portfolio and Julie was like, don't show it to anybody. And I was like, but I want to submit it. He's like, don't show it to anybody. I got something planned for you, right? And of course, I was an obstinate teenager and completely disregarded him because I'd known him since I was like 6 years old. And he gave me my first comic. It was Doom Patrol number 1. Told me not to tell my mom because she wouldn't approve of it. She would find out years later that I read that comic to pieces. And you want to see an old man happy? She had a look of abject horror on her face because she knew the collectible value of that comic. Anyway, it's beside the point. So I kind of like when I was 12 years old. When I was 11 years old, Julie gave me the invite because usually my mom went with him. She was his personal assistant. And so she would like set up all his meetings, all the panels and his meet and greets and the autograph signings and stuff like that. Right. And when I was 11, he goes, hey, would you like to come to the convention? Would you like to come to the convention? And my mom was like, oh no, it's going to be boring. He's like, no. Would you like to come to the convention? Like looking at me, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Sounds interesting. What is a comic book convention? Sold. It was 12. I was 12 because then the next year I came back with a portfolio.
So your mom worked for Julie Schwartz?
Yeah, she was. She
crazy.
Yeah.
So your mom was into comics, huh?
Yeah. She was.
Comics have just been in your DNA since you were a child.
Yeah. I was raised on. I used to read like Top Cat and Wally West and that gnome guy and like Heathcliff.
Dude, when you fucking come on next, we're gonna deep dive into all this shit.
Yeah, I grew up on comics and Dr. Demento.
We didn't There's a bunch of questions I normally ask my guests, and I kind of wanted to save them for the next show. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's gonna be crazy because I also want to talk about your style, like the way you create and whatnot. I want to question you on a lot of things. I would love to
anytime, man.
But I saved that for the launch. I want to, I try to do that, because I got some boys that come on like for the pre-launches. You know what I mean? I try to like kind of filter certain questions for when the next thing comes on.
Right.
That's fucking cool though, dude.
Yeah. So I go to Neil Pierce, right, and I'm 13 years old. My first words out of his mouth, the first words that I hear. Now the guy in front of me walked away from his portfolio. It was like 6 to 10 feet or something like that. There was a distance in between where the line ended and where the tables were, right? So I didn't get to hear anything that was said over the den of this convention hall. But the guy walked away with his head hung down and threw his portfolio in the garbage.
Wow. That's fucking sad.
And I was like, and the guy's like, this guy is he does not want to be here. And he's like, next.
Oh, wow.
Gulp. So I've got some original stuff. I just made a story. I made characters just for the portfolio. Right. And he's thumbing through it really quick. He's like, this is shit.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go, well, okay, well, what's shit about it? And he goes, well, this is fucked up and this is shit. And I don't know what the fuck this is. What the fuck are you even trying to do here? No, answer me. What are you trying to fucking do here? I was like, oh, I'm trying to do this lighting effect. And he's like, oh, well, you don't fucking do it like that, and don't do cross hatching like this either. This is shit. And I was like, okay, cool. So if you had to give me like one thing an exercise that I could do to become better, what would it be? And this guy's demeanor just like flipped like a coin. And he goes, oh, well, you can go out and do some live driving, like, go to your local park and go draw people. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time, and so on and so forth. So then I am, dude, I am disheartened as hell. The submissions editor of the day over at DC Comics just told me to eat a fat bag of dicks, right? Yeah. And so I'm a little disheartened, and then Julie comes and finds me later, and he's like, "Hey, I got a surprise for you." And Gil Kane and Murphy Anderson are doing a little panel on the Hucksters floor, right? They're at the DC booth, and Julie ushers me to the front. They're doing portfolio reviews, and Julie ushers me right behind, ushers me like right behind the table, and Gil Kane and Murphy Anderson now give me a portfolio review. And they're like, well, you're not ready. But I'll tell you what, this is the funny thing. Gil Kane looks me dead in the eye and goes, your art is better than mine when I first started drawing comics professionally.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And the thing is that it's not good enough to make it in today's environment. But I see that you're on the right track. Keep doing whatever you're doing.
That's awesome, man.
And
yeah, one of the big dogs, of the OG.
Yeah, my first inking lesson was Murphy Anderson, and he was inking up a Gil Kane Atom, DC's Atom, right?
Okay.
With his ray gun,
yeah,
right. And he was inking, and he's like, hey, Wes, my name's Wes. Oh no, doxed. I never was hiding it. But he goes, hey, come here. And because I grew up, I never knew these guys were in comics. I just thought they were Uncle Julie's friends.
Okay.
That's how they were introduced. I never knew that these guys were legends. Like, I didn't know until the end of that convention that all of those guys were like legends in comics.
Fucking
and
crazy,
that's why I got preferential treatment. Dude, I got a free autograph from Rob Liefeld because Julie Jewish guilted him into giving me one. And I had to make a promise that I would never sell the comic. And Rob, I kept that promise. In fact, I read that comic until it fell apart.
Oh, shit. Crazy, huh?
Yeah, it was a free autograph from Rob Liefeld, and he was hot.
Oh, yeah.
He was just, X-Force just came out.
He's still trying to go back and buy some of his books, dude, and he can't even buy a lot of them.
No, dude.
Fucking sold, dude,
Yeah, dude. And Julie got him his job at DC. He got him a breakdown artist. He saw potential in the kid, and Julie took it kind of personally. And I found this out in the Jewish guilt trip that he gave Rob, because Rob kind of like, instead of staying, because DC didn't sign him on for another book right away, but Marvel scooped him up.
Yeah.
And DC and Julie took that a little personally. I don't know if you guys know this, but Julius Schwartz and Stan Lee fucking hated each other.
Oh, I can only imagine,
Oh, dude. No, way worse than Mark Waid and EVS.
I can only imagine. I mean, they're dealing with more fuck tons of money too,
But you know what? In front of the fans, they smiled and shook hands.
Yeah. I mean, it's
looking at you, Mark Waid.
It's a different era too, though. You know what I mean, though? Like, yeah, I like that's like and at that time, rightly so. But I also feel like now times that, like, because of like the political climate we're in and the way the books are, like, what is it? Julie and fucking Stan Lee, they didn't have all that woke shit in their books. They had dope ass books they're putting out, you know, so they could say, "Hey, fuck you," and go punch each other in the mouth in the bathroom or something, in the alley.
And when you did get a moral of the day, it was the moral of the day, not that a feature length after school special.
Yeah, and so now it's like their propaganda shit. So like we kind of need Ethan to and people like him to fucking fight this shit. We still need it, you know. And some people are like, you know, hey, just fucking read comics, make comics, you know. And it's like, yeah, I mean, we need to do that, but then you also need people then in there fighting the fucking reminding people, reminding these companies that they're fucking up, you know. And I always agree with that, dude. You know what I mean? Like, no, people need to be reminded of what happened, and they need to be reminded of how they're fucking up still, and never forget.
And you know, it's also like Coach Malin says, man, you got to have a thick skin. Like, I miss Coach doing the one picture portfolio reviews.
Yeah, you just got to take it sometimes, you know, and just run off to the bathroom and cry a little bit. It's all good. I mean,
I absolutely loved when he was doing portfolio reviews, and he would just take one picture.
You know, the brutally honest portfolio, like, because that's how I got into Comicsgate was through Ethan watching his shows. You know what I mean?
And I remember people saying like, "Oh, Maitland's mean." I'm like, dude, I have met a lot of submissions editors in my time from 90 to 97. Actually, from 90 to 96, I submitted portfolios every year. I met a lot of submissions editors. The nicest one I ever met was Murat Michaels at Extreme Studios. And I have met submissions editors that make Neil Pierce on that bad day look like he was having a good day. Like, for real. I got around and then in 97, I walked away from comics.
Well, and it's the thing too, is like Ethan and Malin from like I've seen I've seen a bunch of Ethan ones. I think I've seen maybe one or two Malin reviews. But the thing about theirs is they would like kind of go in there and say, hey, this is wrong, and this is why this is wrong, and da-da-da, and like, fuck you, this is wrong. Go study lifestyle art. And they're like, Ethan could be like, no, well, you see this guy's head? You know, he's this much smaller than the car. See how big the car is or how small the car is? You know, like, this doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even in a cartoon, it's kind of weird, you know? And it kind of throws you off. You see how big his feet are compared to the car, or I don't know.
Right.
And in this sense, they're trying to kind of make it look realistic. So it's just, you know, things like that, you know, and like this perspective off, and, you know, so, and it kind of goes into like, you got to learn the rules before you break them, and myself included. You know, I'm still learning too. I'm green as fuck at my comic booking cartoonist, you know. So
right. Well, dude,
I try to learn this.
Dude, like, all right, so, you know, you got this giant Iron Age, you know, thing going on, all blah, 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 right? But Comicsgate is where I see the most net growth.
Yeah. It's because there's people, there's creators, there's there's cartoonists, writers, like, and they've been there forever. Like we started it, you know?
Yeah.
So, and Iron Age kind of like, all right, to be real, Razor Fist said Iron Age, motherfucker, Iron Age. And everybody started hashtagging it.
It makes sense though, because the Iron Age follows the Bronze Age.
It makes sense, and I love me some Razor Fist, but that's what happened. He was like, Iron Age, motherfucker, Iron Age, and then everybody, you know, and even he was saying like, dude, I didn't expect it to be a hashtag and all that shit, you know, but it was Comicsgate first, you know.
It was,
and let's not fucking tiptoe around like words and this and that. It was Comicsgate.
Even before that, it was Move the Needle. It was like, dude, let's move the needle. It was a positive thing. It was positivity on the internet where they're like, you know what, we're going to show the comics that we do like, you know, where you're going right. And,
that was before my time.
and then
I remember that the hashtag Move the Needle, like, they kind of was resurgent like a year and a half ago or something like that. But
yeah, it made a short comeback, and it was like, we tried that one. They're not listening. You know, Comicsgate happened because, you know, people start losing their jobs, and the wokies, they're starting to get, they had their Wheaties. They had their Wheaties, and they were feeling froggy.
Dude, I want my comics back. You know what I mean? Like, I want the comic books to come back. I want my LCS to be flourishing. I want us to all be fucking making our books and hopefully flourishing, but at least getting our stories out there and funded, and seen by as many people as possible.
Yeah, I like my one-stop nerd shops that LCSs who are surviving have evolved into.
I got one too. I got my baby Metropolis. They're a block from my house, dude. And
dude, I love Metropolis.
That's
hell yeah.
They're in Bellflower, and You probably got another Metropolis where you live, but
no, I don't. But I used to go to the one in Bellflower when I lived in Glendale.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
So that's like 2 blocks from my house, dude. That's where I live.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. No, and Metropolis was totally worth the drive.
You drove way the fuck over there?
Yeah.
Dude, that was so far.
I was one of those guys who wasn't afraid to drive in LA, man.
So who was like running the place when you went there?
I don't know. I just went down there because I found a review on the internet, and I picked up.
Known. They are kind of known though, to be
right.
real. They had like Jerry Conway's been there, Lynn Wein has been there. I know Ethan did a signing there back in the day, like way back in before Comicsgate. Ethan did a signing there. But now, I mean, things are different. And now, you know why now they're popular? Because they're on fucking TMZ. You know TMZ, right?
Yeah.
People fucking going. There's been actors. One of the fucking stuntmen from Bullet Train, right? That Brad Pitt movie. Stole fucking comic books out of there. They caught him and prosecuted him. And there's been a multitude of fucking people stealing shit out of there. It's fucking crazy during the pandemic.
That's a trip.
It's a fucking trip. And like they're my homies, dude. Like, and I go in there and I do signings and shit. And I've sold a lot of my books there.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that they're still humble. I love it.
Bro. And he pushes indie, dude, on the top 2 shelves are just indie books, you know?
Yeah. Right. Well, that's where I went. I was missing a couple of issues of Mouse Guard, David Peterson's Mouse Guard.
Yeah.
Fantastic, by the way. Just absolutely fantastic read. Any of the books. He's done so many.
Nice.
And F-U Disney, because when Disney acquired Jim Henson Studios, they were in the works to make a Mouse Guard movie.
Dude, they just buy shit to post up on it, like,
and they
shelved on fucking the Ice Queen for 75 years and made Frozen, dude. That's like just like a perfect example. And then like what they did with Kimba, you know, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. No, Disney sucks, and
it's fucking evil.
I'm angry because I want my Mouse Guard movie because I love the Mouse Guard stories. They're compelling.
It looks interesting, you know. Like the art looks pretty cool too. You know?
Oh, beautifully illustrated.
There's so much good shit out there. Like, and I don't know. Like, is there any like mainstream books that you want to buy right now that you're picking up or anything like that?
No. Well, right now I owe about like around $1,200 in personal debt, so I'm not buying anything.
I owe like
paying
$6,000 in personal. I owe like $6,000, dog.
Well, I mean that's not my credit card debt. That's people personally that I owe. Shit. No credit card debt. I'm still about $20,000 in the hole.
You'll get it. You'll get that shit.
Yeah. Right now I'm on minimum payment and I'm watching my credit rating in free fall. But hey,
you'll get it.
At least they're not going to collections.
You'll get it. And then like there's also some things where you could do, like I know some people where they fucking just have it paid off and they just do that one payment. Boom. Just get like a bank
debt negotiation.
Like dude, I know a gang of people that did that, like, and then they're fine now and their credit's at like 700.
Yep.
Yeah. Most people have that, dude. Like it's not like alien to like the general populace, you know.
It's manageable, right? The personal debt is the stuff that I stress over, even though none of them are beating on my door or anything of the sort. But still,
they understand, dude. You know, they know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And some of them converted that into store credit, so I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh hell yeah.
Then I can work it off.
Oh yeah,
I don't mind that.
100%. You got a favorite beer, dude? I just had to ask.
Yes. Depending on my mood, I either like a Guinness Extra Stout or a Killian's Red.
Oh, okay. Nice. So you like are you Irish at all or what?
I am Irish.
That's very Irish. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I heard the first name, but I was like, I wonder what his last name is.
Duggan.
I'm Irish too. Okay. One of my best friends from high school, that was his last name, but they called it Dugan.
Yep. The California Dugans. Yep.
Yeah.
Bob Dugan, the patriarch of the California Dugans. He's quote unquote my uncle, even though he's a distant cousin. But he and my dad are big friends, and he's the patriarch of my branch of the family, the Texas Duggans.
That's fucking crazy. I don't know if you know my buddy. Like they own, like, I don't know. That might be like an off the screen thing, but that's fucking crazy, dude. And like that's my old homie from like from 4th grade up and through high school, out of high school, you know, like we grew up together. We played in fucking bands together. We played, you know, shows together, partied, fucking, you know, all like everything, you know, we were the homies. Yeah. I love Guinness too. I like the extra stout. There's this like hole in the wall bar kind of like over by like Long Beach City College. It's called Thirsty Isle, and they got the coldest fucking beer there, man. And one year on Patty's Day, they dyed the Smithwicks green, but the beer comes out like frozen. It's so good, dude. Talking about this beer right now over by a local dive bar, and I don't know, man. You can never really get a I don't know, like a good cold brew. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking beer. Like it's hard to find a really. I was saying, Tank, it's hard to find a really good cold beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, with the ice cold mug. You know what I mean? And that Thirsty Isle spot, man. I haven't been there in like 10 years, but dude, the beer, like it, like I don't know, man. I like a cold beer. I'm gonna go to a bar, like I want that shit cold as fuck.
Well, you know, if you're ever in Peoria, Arizona, I've got a Tank brother who owns his own microbrewery, the Peoria Artisan Brewery. And dude, that stuff is off the hook. He's got the regular stuff. He's got the fancy flavored stuff. He's an artist. Like he is. Nice. Yeah. No, it's really it's good stuff. No, I get into it. I tried to get him to sponsor a drink with Crazy, and he was like, "Yeah, I could do that for like a case of beer or something like that." But he's like, "I can't though because of the law." And I was like, another reason why I think the ATF should be a store and not a government agency.
It's crazy, all like the agencies that are around, like how young they are, you know, and how they could be disbanded like at the call of a leader, you know, that had the scrotum to do so.
Yeah. It would take a simple majority vote from Congress to say, nope, goodbye.
Yeah.
You are the weakest link.
Yeah.
I mean,
dude, but a lot of them are just like, they're just ears for the 1%, you know, in servitude thereof, I feel. Dude, I there's I don't know. Are you into like Irish mythology at all or folklore?
I am.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like I want to do this book called. I mean, he's not Irish, but it's called St. Patrick Snake Slayer.
Oh, and okay, yeah.
It's kind of like a little bit of Solomon. It's Solomon Kane and Conan put together. I know they're kind of similar but kind of different, but that's what it is. And get my deep dive on some Irish and some Scotch and some Irish Celtic and Pictish folklore. I'm really itching to do that, and I want to launch it on St. Patrick's Day. I've been some year I'm going to do that, you know. But I think March is the golden month, man. That's the year, like that's the month I want to launch books on. But I can never line it up, you know.
Yeah, and, we've got in March coming from Marcosia Publishing, 21 Demons will be released, and that is a 102-page graphic novel.
Oh, dude, I think I saw like. You guys were like dropping some art for that like a month ago or something on Twitter. I thought I could have sworn.
Yeah, we were funding it on Fund My Comic for the collector's edition, but it didn't fund. So we're just going straight to print.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it'll be available from Marcosia Publishing. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I know that it's going to be under $20. So.
Oh, that's totally affordable. Yeah.
Yeah, no, Marcosia does good. They're competitive in their pricing. They're competitive with like the big comic companies.
Were you guys gonna launch it on again?
No, we're not gonna launch it. It's just gonna be sold from Marcosia.com. Yeah.
.com. Okay, because there's a big publication. That's right.
Yeah. You'll probably be able to buy digital comics from Drive-Thru. I think that's where they sell their digital versions.
It's fucking cool. I mean, digital is dope. You know what I mean? And I think there's a lot that could be like so. For me, like the digital experience, the first book I ever read on digital, I was just chilling in my buddy's office, right? And he's like, "Hey, here's Old Man Logan. Check this shit out, motherfucker." And
oh hell yeah!
The one thing I liked about it was you know what I like about digital? You know what the one thing I actually like as a storytelling, as a an interactive experience.
Zooming in.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a little more interactive, but the main thing is I can't see the right page.
Oh yeah. There's more of that that mystique, being able to see one page at a time.
In a way, that's huge, right? Like,
yeah.
So when I'm setting up pages, it really hurts. Like, even when I'm reading books in the format, like, it's spoiler, and it is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to argue with anybody. They're just spoilers, like I do myself too in my own book. We spoil our shit. So with digital, you don't spoil shit, dog. Like, it just fucking boom, boom, boom. So it's like, that's the one thing I like about digital. I know it's cheaper and it's easy for people to get, but like, as a storytelling mechanic, there's no spoilers.
Well, like the way I approach writing comics is reveal, lead, hook, right? Yeah. So if you're looking at it, the left-hand page is your reveal. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the right-hand page is your lead and hook.
Yeah.
Right. So when you have your opening page, right, which is going to be on the right hand, that's lead hook. Right. That's what it does. It leads you and hooks you. So you get that PTR, that page turn reveal. So then you turn the page and you resolve the question left on the previous page and then leave them with another, continuance. Right. So it gets them to turn the page, and you don't spoil anything because it's all right there. And
every now and then, don't you spoil a little? Like, every now and then, doesn't something dude. Sometimes it just like
now you're getting into my devious writing where I actually spoil the entire story. I do.
No, you don't have to, but I'm just saying, like, generally, like, it's gonna happen. You're gonna spoil something, like, because I do the same thing you do 100%. Like, but it's like, it just has to, like, something lands on that page. Like, they're gonna see this. I don't want them to see the right page. I want them to read the left page. And it's like 90% of my book, all the reveals are on the left page, but this one motherfucker page reveals something on the right, and that just irks me, and it's going to happen. There's always going to, like, I don't care how many pages of your book, most of the time, dude, you're going to have that one page that kind of spoils, with the right eye, even if it's a proxy, like, fucking periphery spoil, you're like, oh, try not to look at it, you're like, oh. And some people try to make it, they're like, oh, that's cool, dude. It's cool because I kind of get, it's like a teaser. It's like a teaser trailer, bro. It's like a periphery teaser. It's like a periphery teaser trailer. I'm like, nah, dude, not really, dude. Like, and I'm not gonna not do it. Like, it's gonna happen sometimes organically. Like, there's nothing you could do about it sometimes, But 90% of the time, I'm not gonna do it. But it's just happens.
I work with my editor tirelessly on that. My editor's my wife, who's as a ghostwriter, she's won awards.
Fuck yeah.
And as an editor, she's won awards, and she's been doing this for. She's been working with ebook publishing and independent publishing for about 20 years now.
I'll have to shoot you guys my fucking work times and let you guys look at it if you're bored.
If I can get right now, she's working like 60-hour weeks. So yeah, she comes home, she eats her food, and then falls asleep, and so not necessarily in that order.
No, I hear you, man. No,
yeah.
But even if you could like look at it, some of my shit sometimes, because I have a couple of people that like that I show my stuff to, and Brian Christgau is my editor right now.
Good.
And
Good.
But
there's a
a couple cats, you can look at some shit like, hey, dude, go smoke a cig, check the shit out on the porch or something, or oh, this shit sucks, Matt Burke, or something.
The only thing I ask people is like, look, if you.
Hey,
Kurt. Hey, Angela. The only thing I ask folks that send me stuff, don't send me a DocX. I won't open it. DocX is like receiving a USB drive from somebody. Yeah. Unless I know you personally. Yeah, unless I know you personally, I'm not opening it.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a buffer computer. Where I open those kinds of stuff where it's like, okay, I bricked a laptop, whatever. Toss it.
No, I hear you. I'm in the same boat, dude.
Go turn it in for recycling value and go get another $100 laptop off of eBay. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just don't send me a DocX, please. Because malevolent people can hide viruses in that. And don't open DocXs from people you don't know.
Oh, yeah, folks. For sure, man. Yeah, it's just a serpentine offering.
Yeah, I won't open it. And I really want to sometimes. I'm like, hey, can you save this as a different format? Give me a rich text file. That's fine.
For me now, I'm like, this wouldn't be for at least another year. Like my goal is to get my book done in a year. Like this time next year, my book's done. But
I would love to look at it. And look, and I'm just kind of planting seeds out there, and I've got a few people waiting in the wings to see how Omniverse Incursion goes, because I want to bring that HeroClix style experience without the clicky bit to tabletop. I want to bring these indie characters. I want people to buy these characters because they look cool, or they're like a strategic value, or there's something fun, or maybe they can, trade a bunch of goons to get that one name character.
Well, dude, this tabletop industry, man. Like I was talking to my homie, and we were talking backstage a little. The pandemic, like that's it. Just put it on a silver platter. People like were down to like, okay, all right, you got the jab. Oh, okay, or you didn't. Okay, I'm gonna go over your houses, and then they convened. They went to each other's houses. They played these games during the pandemic. That's what happened. I was talking to normies, like shit that aren't in fucking CG or whatever the fuck, and it blew up, dude. And like, so down the street from Metropolis, there's a big motherfucker store, the Guild House. It's a big tabletop store. It's like 2 or 3 times the size of Metropolis, dude, in Bellflower.
Wow.
And I've been here my whole life. I'm Bellflower Burke. So it's fucking crazy, dude. Like it's huge now, and so I don't know, man. I think like what you're doing, like the more like games like that we get out there, the better. And also kind of, I don't know, man, like there's different types of those games, you know what I mean? Like fucking Warhammer's, like, dude, you got to kind of have like time and money to play Warhammer. It's like a baller game, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? That's like fucking, like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's why we got World War Hell coming out later next year.
And it's like
Dan Fogarty's World War Hell. The premise is in September of 1942, portals to hell opened up in the centers of government around the world.
Yeah.
And demons poured forth. Hitler and FDR are popcorn snacks. Hitler dies an absolutely horrible death. It's wonderful because nobody wants to see Hitler go out easy.
So, dude, so you're going to put out these games, right? Like you're going to crowdfund it. So are you putting out, like, stupid question, right?
Yeah,
are you putting out a concept art book for these games? Like a floppy?
That will be available with the crowdfunding campaigns, and eventually we will go to print on it.
World War Hell, for me, I love shit like that, bro. I love like world building, like concept art, like just bestiary, all that fucking shit to create the game, the world, the lore, like the deep dive into the fucking game, almost even more than the game sometimes. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, dude, that's the appeal of 40K. I'm over my lifetime, I've probably spent around $6,000 on Games Workshop, only for them to call me a bigot because I was like, female Space Marines don't exist. And I'm not saying that they couldn't exist. I'm saying they don't exist.
Yeah, they don't exist right now. There's no.
They don't exist.
We're still trying to figure that shit out right now.
Any technology that died with the Emperor. Any technology that could create it. Maybe that's why we don't talk about those 2 Space Marine chapters. Maybe they were female. Maybe there's something there that they couldn't be controlled. Maybe they fell to corruption of the warp. We don't know. So you could put your own headcanon there, but they don't exist. But I'm an asshole because I say that, and so I'm like, you know what, your game sucks. And you're just
talking about your world. You're not talking about like actuality, like, oh, there's no, you know what I mean? But they take it as fact and it's actual. Like, dude, I'm talking about my fucking.
That's why you got the Sister Sororitas, man. You got the dude, and they're awesome. They're Space Marines. They're essentially Space Marines with flamethrowers. And plasma melty weapons. But games, World War Hell is like 40K except fun. It's actually fun to play. You don't spend hours fighting over minutia of what should have been just a game that took half an hour. You don't spend 2-3 hours playing that 1.5 hour game.
Yeah. People, I think people are really like getting into like kind of like easy, accessible tabletop gaming. You know what I mean? That's kind of affordable. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean, dude? Like,
and with our errata, because everything's on a scale, like everything's to scale, right? This is one of the inside jokes because even the map is to scale, time is to scale, all this stuff. And we kind of did that, you know, also for storytelling purposes, because I see all these guys putting out these RPGs and I'm like, I want to make a conversion book. I want your people who make their characters in your RPG to be able to come and play on our tabletop with their character.
Right. Yeah. Everybody's all about the conversion, and that's fucking dope. You know what I mean? Because you're literally like taking your shit and playing in someone else's sandbox. Like,
and conversion book, I would be like, simple. Just split the licensing fee even, Steven.
50-50. Right? Yeah. We're talking about that 50-50 shit. Well, gee, I don't know. Like, shut up, you fucking walrus.
It's like, math, dude, motherfucker. Do you use it?
Come on, dude. We're just playing, bro. Like, you know what I mean? We're just playing. You know, and if it makes money, that's fine, dude. Like,
and World War Hell it's going to be fun, dude. You got like World War II soldiers versus demons. We start off with London falling, the fall of London, Leviathan, the demon prince of envy. You know, his forces come out of the River Thames, right? The River Thames boils over and runs blood red.
Fuck.
And he's like, his portal didn't appear in Parliament. It appeared in the River Thames because this Leviathan, right?
Dude, I can just like see like a trailer for this, dude, with like a fucking badass metal band playing it, you know?
We've got a hot shot up and coming horror director. This guy, dude, Hollywood has not discovered him yet, and I'm really happy because we got him. He's doing a few shorts for us to include a trailer for the game, live action.
Hey, dude, when that game launches, like your launches, like all your launches, hit me up, dude.
Yeah, September this year or next year. September
I know you're
next
doing
year.
A lot of launches, but come on and like let's talk about these books, dude. You know what I mean? There's plenty to talk about.
I'd love to, dude. World War Hell's got Frankentanks. That's my mic drop. Frankentanks.
So I just had like images in my head, like just like I could draw shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I already got I got 2 images I could already draw. You know what I mean? Like I'm already fucking intrigued. Okay, and I don't even want to know anymore, just because like I don't want you to spoil it. You know
what happens when you slap a Sherman turret on a Russian T-34?
Okay, so that's the third idea that I have.
And what if you like build a battle platform on the back of that back deck, where you could put some infantry and some gun emplacements? Frankentank, baby. You got demons to fight. There are hordes of them. A lot of the demon armies, like, they have one thing in common, and we call them the Infernum, right? They're a lot of the infernal armies. They have hordes of just fodder that they can throw at your lines. And humans are geared to fight humans. So ingenuity, like, we've got this one tank kit, right? That one of the options is that you can, it's a Panzer kit where you replace the main cannon with quad anti-aircraft turret, quad anti-aircraft guns, 20 millimeters, right? And it's like, yeah, you want to mow down some demons? I got some firepower. Hold on, let me roll this bucket of dice. Eat it. You know, I've got a full company of these guys. I'm fielding a full army of tanks. And that's another thing that we do is with World War Hell is there's no rigidity as to the composition of your army. Now, 40K is very rigid. You have to have 1 headquarters and 2 troops in order just to play any game. Okay. No, we say, like, because all balance, and that's because they're balancing their point system is garbage, right? It's shit math. I'm gonna throw that out there, Games Workshop. You're shit at math. All right. I grew up in a predominantly Asian neighborhood. Those are the guys I had to compete with math. All right.
Oh,
and
shit.
I was terrible. Dude, compared to them.
Yeah, you're fucking pissing your pants, dude.
Yeah, agency. But you know, our balancing is done on the back end on points, not based on like what their role is or anything of the sort. It's pure points. So when we put out an errata, we don't have to change any of the stats. We change the point value. That's it. And we put that out for free. Like, you'll never have to pay for errata. because that's on us. We made the mistake. Right. So since we balance on the points, you could field anything you want. You want 2 infantry squads to go against each other. You want to see an infantry squad take on a tank, right? You can play that scenario. You can go play a quick 10-minute game.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Right. You can run a series you can go tell your own story if you want to. You can rewrite World War II.
Do you guys have any plans to play this on a live stream?
Yes, we do.
Oh, that's gonna be dope, dude. I mean,
it's awesome. We have 3 flagship game stores. One of them is in England, and 2 are here in the US.
That's fucking crazy.
And each of these game stores does feature an online store. So we'll be offering something that's only available through their website. They'll have an exclusive unit that you can purchase, units that you can purchase directly from that store and from that store only.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
As kind of an incentive, like, hey, thanks for being our flagship. Thanks for putting our promo materials up on your wall and stocking your shelves with our boxes. We're going to give you something exclusive that people from around the world will come to order from you. Right. That's the intent.
See like all this stuff, dude. You got so much cool shit coming out next year. You know,
thank you. Yeah,
I think it's going to be the year of the Tank Ferret. I mean, I really do.
I'm really hoping.
See how it's fucking not going to be the year of the Tank Ferret.
I'm just the presenter, man. You know, people thought that like 21 Demons was my book, and I was like, dude, I'm just the Barker.
Yeah,
I'm the guy in the middle of the ring. I'm just the ringmaster. I'm out here going, hey, check out this stuff. Step right up. Right? Tank Ferret presents, like Stan Lee presents. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. Only I'm not going to take credit for your creation. I'm like, no, I'm just here to present, man.
Hey,
this is all on them.
Spider-Man, you got there, motherfucker. Swoop. I do that shit all the time.
I'm not one to speak ill of the dead, but I don't have much nice to say about Stan Lee.
Hey, did you ever go to his store? Like, cause like you're pretty fucking well versed in California, dude. Like, I don't know. Did you ever go to a store? Excelsior.
Yeah.
So when you walked in there, was both walls just lined with pop figurines? Like the walls? Floor to ceiling?
No. By the time I stepped away from mainstream, that was long before pop came out. I stepped away from mainstream in like 97. And I went pure indie and underground. The most mainstream I would buy would be Heavy Metal Magazine.
Oh, that's already fucking outlawed, fucking mainstream. Like fucking like fucking Gorilla, like fucking outlaw mainstream. I went there in 2017, brother, and I went in there and that shit was fucking this pop figurines, bro. Floor to ceiling, from the front to the back.
I read the one that the Green Lantern that EVS did because his artwork just sucked me right in, and I ended up buying a ton of comics that most of them were garbage, but at least the overall story was kind of neat.
So you just like Ethan's art back then, huh? He was just So at that time, like you like Ethan Van Sciver's art. Who else? What other artists did you like at that time?
Oh, like David Peterson. I was a huge David Peterson fan, man. I still am to this day. And gosh, there's some people I don't know their name. They did like European comics. The guy who drew Gypsy, like I really enjoy that book. I enjoyed or those books, and I really enjoyed the artwork.
It's fucking weird, like hearing people say that, like, yeah, Ethan was my favorite artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Because he's something else now. You know what I mean? And like when I remember the first time I heard him. Because at the time they were doing flyers for Metropolis, you know what I mean? And the manager at the time, I'm like, hey, well, who's your favorite artist? He's like, oh, Ethan Van Sciver. He's gonna be here this weekend. I'm like, who the fuck is that? And and I said, post a little picture. I'm like, okay, and I never went in there. I'm like, and then the name just kind of cooked in my head, you know what I mean? And then later on, like maybe a year or two later, I kind of discovered on YouTube, but it still didn't click. It didn't click till I kind of see his face. I was like, oh. That's the guy that fucking the owner like said that was his favorite artist, Yeah. And people fucking like his art, dude. You know what I mean? And seeing him draw like live with the blue shit,
Yeah.
It's amazing, dude. You know what I mean? Love him, hate him, fuck him, whatever. It's fucking amazing the way that motherfucker does the blue line, like just scribbles a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
I love that.
My joke is like Ethan draws 3 lines, goes into intensely gorgeous inks.
Like, how the fuck? That's fucking like it's kind of miraculous in a way. Like I ain't trying to sound fucking weird or gay or fucking simpy or whatever the fuck, dude. But it really is. Like what other? Kelly Jones does that too, dude. Kelly Jones fucking does that a little bit too. Like I'm trying to figure out artists that do that, and I'm trying to channel that a little bit. I'm trying to learn as much as I can from these guys. You know, I'm not like a little kid, you know. So I'm trying to catch up on shit as much as I can. And I don't have a bullpen. I got 2 to 4 hours a day. So
yeah, I hear that.
I'm looking for miracles, baby, and these motherfuckers got some miracles going. It's pretty crazy.
It's a while. It's a trip. It's a trip, right? And dude, gosh, you said his name earlier, and I always mess up his name. The guy who did the Frankenstein stuff.
Bernie Wrightson?
Bernie Wrightson, thank you.
Yeah, dude.
I always get the first letters right, but it's the rest of it I get wrong.
Big influence.
Dude, I loved that Frankenstein. Dude, it's my favorite.
$300. That shit's $300, and I can see why you love that because of your fine detail of your rendering.
I love that illustration. Like it's masterful.
I had to buy the French one for like the life size, like the big book, dude. Right?
Yeah.
I wanted to see the big detail because you could buy a cheap one for $60. It's small. It's his compressed art. So if you want the big one, I bought the French one. It was $60. So I like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I love monsters. Okay. I love Dracula and Frankenstein and Wolfman, whatever.
Right.
But, dude, I bought that and I had the Frankenstein novel by Mary Shelley. I don't read that shit. It's in French, but I just bought it for the artwork, dude. Fucking it was
dude.
It was I think it was $40 or $60. I still have it. I have it
Not
right over there.
Wasted.
Pull it up. Hold on, let me show you right now. Give me
I absolutely love it because his art there's a lot of lines and not one of them was wasted. Not one line is unnecessary, and it's just like, dude, it's a masterpiece. It's literally like just a comic book masterpiece. Like this is an illustrative masterpiece. I can't even really say it's comic book. It's illustrative, right? It's not to demean comics or anything of the sort, but like, dude, it's it's what is it? A buddy of mine. He does art.
I think it was $50 when I
Look
bought it.
at that.
Look how big it is, dude.
That's gorgeous.
You know? And then I try to come in here like once a year and just kind of go through the art, you know, and it's a big influence on me. You know?
Yeah.
Like just all the little I haven't done a review on this shit, but you know,
it's
there's
crazy.
this YouTube video with this fucking melancholic like piano playing, it's like tear-jerking fucking gothic music that plays, and it just shows the art. Like I'll put that on.
Oh hell yeah!
It's kind of gay, but I mean, it's fucking dope. And I'll listen to it and and look at it, And I try to study this shit sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, but
I would quote Corporate Avenger at this point, but it would get the channel taken down. So I'll just say the end of the quote. There just might be a little fag in us all.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
It's okay. It's okay to be gay.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Corporate Avenger. There's a band. Whew.
Corporate Avenger.
Oh man, yeah. You guys want to have some fun? It's an anti-establishment music that is like edgy shock metal from the early 2000s. Yeah, Corporate Avenger, like with such songs as "Taxes Are Stealing" and "The FBI has a file on me," and "I Don't Trust the Police," because the people that control got them on a short lease. I don't trust the police. Run around with a badge and a gun, and they goddamn fuck with everyone. Oh, look at that!
Look at the whites. This is a book you can usually like literally carry around in a backpack at all times and study it. And like people could be like, okay, I get it. Like literally, like you can literally carry this and study it until you die, and
it was
can't talk shit. Motherfuckers
it
can't
was
talk
studying
shit.
him.
So good. It's
and
his best achievement he did. And I love Bernie. He's like in my top 10, you know.
Like studying him and was it Keith Giffen's Trencher, and the guy who did, what was it, Rusty Boy Robot or something like that? I forget. I haven't read it since like the early 90s, but it was like
the white drops.
Look at that.
The white drops.
Yeah.
So
well, and it's the use of negative space, right? The empty space.
The empty space.
But then what I call anti-negative space, which you see Ethan do this a lot, right? Where there's just so much intense detail that your eye is drawn to the negative space, like by using that anti-negative space that's just so detailed and quote unquote busy, but it doesn't make the artwork busy. Right? The artwork is still like, bam, you quickly pick out the image, and then you can sit there and appreciate it. You can look at it for more than 2.5 seconds.
You like Cyberfrog?
I love Cyberfrog. I've only read the first one, but
I have
love the artwork, man.
I think I have all the Cyberfrog books. I haven't reviewed them all yet, but they're up on the dock. They're up on the queue.
I like Cyberfrog because he's fun.
I like the 90s Cyberfrog the most because it's metal as fuck. It's like, I feel like it's Ethan Unchained. You know what I mean? Like now I feel like it's very Walking Dead influenced. It's very like survival horror meets Cronenbergian with a little bit of a lot of his fucking like worldviews on stuff and politics and comic skate and soy shit and fucking woke shit and his cancellation and all that thrown in too as well, which is dope and it should be in there. But I also feel that like the 90s stuff is really fucking metal, like fucking no holds barred. Him Unchained is fucking adolescent too in a way, you know?
Yeah.
And young.
Yeah.
Ethan.
No.
But I like that, dude. I like that. Like again, we're talking about 90s shit. I fucking love the 90s shit. It's just a lot of balls and just motherfucker, you know, like just really in there, you know.
It had such energy, and it was a golden age for both comics and manga, because out of that 80s, 90s, because manga and comics were feeding off of each other,
right,
and forcing each other to get better and better and better, and then manga just pulled way ahead of comics, because comics was like, no, we kicked out all the old guys, we're gonna change how everything is done.
It was weird, like even in, like when I saw the writing on the wall was when I walked into a Best Buy. It's not manga, but it was anime, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it just dwarfs the fucking DVD section. What the fuck is all this shit over here? I'm looking, you know, and like, I mean, I see Fist of the North Star and you know, Akira and Vampire Hunter D, which are dope, you know, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck, man? This shit's taking over, you know. And now you go in there and like the DVD section is like one little rack, and then there's a couple bins, and there's still manga, and they're like anime, and they're like a motherfucker, and then I'm like, you know, and I got Berserk, the little, you know, and I do like manga. I love the action. I love the way they deliver action and just the detail but I mean, you can't really compare apples to oranges, you know. I'm always going to have
all they really did was they took How to Draw Comics the Marvel way and just took it to the next level. They made it even bigger and better, and a big influence on manga's evolution as far as like action and fighting scenes. Really, I kind of trace back to Tony Wong and his Kung Fu comics. And he really did kind of innovate action.
Like for me, like I'm a big like for me, I'm always gonna have fight scenes. Like people, like people talk about action, and for me, action is like explosions, car chases,
right.
That, you know, and like, but like for me specifically, like fight sequences with like contact, you know, like a lot of like 99% of comic books is the swing and then someone's flying through a wall. Like panel 1, someone's swinging with their shit cocked back like that, right? Panel 2, a motherfucker's flying through a wall. I'm like, fuck that shit. I want to see connect. I want to see like all the moves. I want to see the arm bar. I want to see the slam. I want to see everything. I'm really into that. And if you have the page economy to like break it down into each little move in the fucking per panel, then that's even better. But some people don't. But I love that shit, bro. I love that, you know.
Well, then you're gonna love this, because I was gonna say, if you like movies like Extraction and The Bourne Identity and John Wick, you're gonna love the action in this.
Oh, I love John Wick. Extraction
I'm a fourth degree master instructor, black belt, and I have over 30 years experience at doing this. I've worked as a bouncer. I actually used hand-to-hand combat in war.
What do you think about that movie, The Hunted? Because I do Metal Movies and Brewskis Live, and I recommended The Hunted the other night with Tommy Lee Jones. I haven't seen it. Fuck around.
I haven't seen it.
Please go watch that movie. I highly recommend it. It's directed by the director of The Exorcist, William Friedkin, and that guy don't fuck around. He smacks priests to get fucking performances out of them.
Although with all that stuff, my favorite fight scene in any movie ever was in The Presidio. Sean Connery. Listen,
never seen it.
He's trying to get into this place, right? They're like looking for his daughter or something. Presidio. It's got Sean Connery in it, and he's trying to get to this place, and the bouncer won't let them in. And Sean Connery's this military colonel, veteran, can of whoop ass, right? And an old man, right? And the guy's like, you can't come in. And the guy looks at, and Sean Connery looks at him and goes, listen, I'm going to kick your ass. And I'm only going to use my thumb. But I'm going to use my left thumb because my right thumb's far too powerful for you.
Oh, I love it. All detailed.
And the guy puts his hand on Sean Connery's shoulder, and he goes, listen, old man, I'm a black belt. And he goes, that's nice, dear. And proceeds to whoop his ass with his left thumb.
What the fuck?
And it's just beautiful. Straight shot to the throat, right to the temple of the head. Like he takes this guy down with extreme prejudice. And it's just gorgeous. And the fight's over. Doesn't even last 5 seconds, dude. The fight's over, and it's like wham bam, thank you, man.
Did you oh fuck, I gotta check that out. I wrote it down. What is it, a sci-fi movie? Is it a
it's a fiction thriller. It's a thriller. Yeah.
Okay.
And it takes place at the Presidio Army base that used to be in San Francisco.
Okay. That fool came out with The Rock and A League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and Indiana Jones. Those are his swan songs. To me, those are his exit trilogy was right. Last Crusade, The Rock, and fucking the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Sorry, I'm fucking getting a little tipsy.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, dude.
I have a couple of young ones I'm peeking in on because they went to bed early.
Oh, for sure, man.
They got all tuckered out, and so now they're having midnight snacks.
I know how that is, dude. They wake up, and yeah. And I know
just remind them.
You got to take them back to bed.
Yeah, I just remind them, hey, I'm getting you up at the same time in the morning. I try to teach them responsibility, and I do, I good leadership oversight. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, here's a little bit of rope.
Oh, for sure, man.
This might turn into a learning moment. I have busted out with the 5-gallon pot and a ladle as an alarm clock.
Oh yeah, dude. Totally.
Because they were up all night, like it was a sleepover or something.
Oh yeah, totally, dude. The thing is, they're kind of invincible up until 20 something,
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know. I feel that the how do I put it? I think probably the junior high years and the high school years, you could stay up really late. I don't know. Yeah. I guess in the 20s too. Yeah, and I'm tripping. No, all those years you could stay up pretty late. It feels like.
Yeah.
I don't know. You bounce back pretty quick. I don't know, man. Here I am. I'll be staying up late tonight, and I'm only gonna get 4 or 5 hours of sleep too. So I don't really.
Right.
I don't know. It really just depends on your profession, though. Me, I'm just working on pipes and electrical shit and things like that. I really like.
I'll probably, when I go inside, I'll put on Call of the Wild, or White Fang. They like both. They like both of those books. I put them on audiobook and just set it up on the tablet, and they just listen to the book and fall asleep. Just pick up where they left last Remember.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah, awesome. I'm a big fan of Jack London. I love Jack London.
I remember Call the Wild from high school.
Yeah, it's such a good one.
What do you think of The Gray?
Such a good book. I never watched it.
It's worth a watch. It's worth one watch.
That's what I keep hearing.
I'd probably go back and like it more now, like, because I don't know, man. Like, I think every 10 years, probably maybe 8, 9, 7 to 10 years, like things just change in people as far as like their perception on reality in the world, you know. But I think that like if I were to go back and rewatch that movie now, I'd probably really love it. And I remember watching that movie, like going like, "Hey, it's cool." You know, I wish I had seen more of this and that, you know, in it. But I really like the survival.
I'll check it out.
It's almost survival horror in a way, but there's no monster, just horror of reality. Dude, have you seen the trailer for that movie? Dude, have you seen the trailer for that new movie? I think it's a TV show called The Terror.
No.
Oh my
yes.
Oh my
yes,
god.
The HMS Terror. Oh, dude. Based on a true story. Yes. Trying to find the Northwest Passage, dude. Oh man, those
dude.
Like, I would like to quote Galaxy Quest. Those poor people.
I'm gonna watch the fuck out of that. No.
Oh, dude. Really I do want to watch it.
So we were watching the trailer on Horror Movie Club tonight, and I'm really into like this expedition horror. Like there was this comic book called Manifest Destiny based off of Lewis and Clark, but it was a dope ass comic, bro. I think they did like 50 issues, and it was written really well. Like this dude, I don't know who the painter was. He was a vet too, I believe, a veteran, and he painted all the fucking shit. I don't know. I think it was traditional, and it was drawn really cool, like almost like Mort Dreckery in some ways, but then mixed with some old school like 1970s comic book artists. I can't really cite them all, but it was so fucking good, man. And like everywhere like Lewis and Clark would go, there would be like the Spirit of St. Louis. They would find like that arch, you know, and one would be made out of trees, you know, and then they would encounter like this fucking there was this thing called a fauna. It was fucking vegetation zombies, you know. They would have to fight
that's cool.
Then they came upon another one that was made out of fucking shit. It was lyrical fecal matter of arc, and they had to fight more of that. And then they came upon a buffalo tour, which is like a minotaur, but it was a buffalo, you know. And
that's cool.
Sacagawea was in there, and she was like pregnant, and she was fighting with a spear, like trying to help everybody, you know. And Robert Kirkman like published it. It's under his shit, so like they were really trying to like really like make a show out of it. But they canceled it, and I was just like, dude, I fucking love this stuff, man. And
that could have been fun.
Homie fucking big dog fucking Professor Murph. He put out his War Party book. It was during the 1700s, and it's like, you know, we all love our fucking westerns. We love them, dude. And like, but those like, you know, French Indian War books, and you know, those 1700s books, man. And like,
we start getting into some Daniel Boone.
The frontier stuff, you know, and it's just and I don't know. This conversation went from expedition horror. So basically, that's another book though I highly recommend is Manifest Destiny. It was through Image Comics. So fucking good, man. And I love the painting in that book. And I was like, damn, dog, I wish I could paint like this or get a painter. Like, I don't know. I'd have to like show you the way it was. It just looked very traditional in a way. I think the guy traditionally.
I stopped reading Image around like 2002. Yeah, because like the writing wasn't there. Like the art was gorgeous. But I felt that like the stories were really flat.
I think you would love this book, man. And so like Andrew Jackson like hires all these fucking like, it's basically like they hire all these like rapists and killers to go to like, you know, to do the expedition with Lois and Clark, you know. And he has a fucking skull in the White House of fucking like a cyclops, you know. And
I love it.
And the arch is
that's totally Andrew Jackson
beautiful, too. Beautiful artwork, man. And like, man, the book was so good, dude. Like, I really, I don't know, like that was one that kind of flew under the radar. A lot of people didn't. And I was at Comic-Con and they had a shirt of it at the Image booth, And I picked it up. I was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna get that. I saw Neil Adams, met Neil Adams. It was a good time.
Oh, cool.
I saw Todd McFarlane. I talked to Todd McFarlane. He was just like, hey, I'm Todd McFarlane. He was just like just chilling there, like just kind of no one was around him or nothing, dude. And I'm like, I got you, motherfucker. You know.
That guy right there.
I took a picture with him and my wife. You know, it's pretty cool. He was really nice to me.
I have nothing but nice stuff to say about Todd. I mean, like when I was young and I got a portfolio review by him, he really,
I hear horror stories. I hear horror stories.
Well, I mean, he was brutal but fair. And and here's the thing about Todd, though, you got to ask him. So, okay, what do I do to fix that? Right. And he will gladly hand you the keys to the kingdom.
If you're
like, well, this is exactly what you need to do.
You have to ask what you want, right?
Yeah. Like you have to show that, you're not a wuss to him. If you show the slightest bit of fear, he'll eat you alive.
That's pretty cool.
But if you're just a genuine person and you're respectful, he'll treat you good, But if you're a chump, he'll eat you alive.
Fuck, man. How would it be to be like someone, not even Todd level, right? But just like to be someone at Comic-Con, like a Neil Adams or something like that. Someone comes up to you and gives you like their like portfolio review,
Right.
And you, say you do it all the time. Say you do like maybe 20 a day, and you're just like, fuck, like how would that be? Like how would you act?
Well, I worked for a small production company called Burning Gears in Los Angeles. And we had a large booth at Anime Expo. And we had a live action anime kind of thing going on, where we used like special effects to kind of like mimic some of the manga anime stuff. Right. It was fun. Really, I mean, cool. The script was good. The acting was okay. It was kind of campy overall, but it was fun and it had some gravity with people. And so we went out full force. Like we dropped like $5,000. Like we all pulled cash and dropped like $5,000 on a big booth at Expo. And
sometimes you gotta put a fucking dent in there, Sometimes you gotta fucking fund the dent,
Well, and as the art director, right? I was the art director of the company.
Fuck.
And so I actually didn't do a lot of artwork myself. I mostly just I was in a leadership position where I'm overseeing all these artists and stuff. So I actually had to do portfolio reviews a lot. And it's like telling somebody they're not ready for prime time always kicks me, because I'm like, man, I don't want to discourage you. I want to put this in a way that doesn't discourage you.
Isn't that weird? Isn't it kind of weird? Like, and like I don't want to say we, but like, how do I say we? Okay. And like me, I don't know shit. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I'm sure if I give you my portfolio, you rip it apart. But let's just say, like, we look at Todd McFarlane and like a lot of people that look at their fucking portfolios and shit, and they're like, they're brutal with it, Yeah. How did that feel to be in that position to do that? How do you word that? It
was rough, and I did it as cordially as I could. I usually I would be like, so you're not up to the quality that we expect from people that we hire, but et cetera. I want you to keep doing this. You've got potential. And here's some artistic exercises that you can do to get better. I spent over a decade working with various indie operations as art director. And so I got a lot of experience running that kind of stuff. Making getting artists and writers and all these creatives to deliver on time, the costumers and all the set designers and all that nonsense. And I looked at a lot of portfolios. I mean, I turned away a lot of people. And I see a lot of folks, like with any field, right, where you've got varying levels of skill, you got everything from amateur hour to master class, right?
Mm-hmm. Then you got like the one in the middle that like got heart and like they're still not there.
And one of the guys that I do one of the guys that I do point out is Todd McFarlane. I'm like, look, that guy taught himself, right? But he didn't like just magically sit there and draw things. Like he studied.
Yeah, because like you could like you could draw like draw all the time, right? But you have to like study specific things, right?
Yeah.
And like if you're going to like a portfolio review, you have to ask specific things. You know what I mean? You have to zero in on your craft and what you're studying, your study, right?
Yeah. 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 You gotta, like Ethan says, you gotta pay your dues. Now, paying your dues doesn't mean that you gotta suffer in the trenches. Paying your dues means that you've got to develop it. You've got to develop yourself. You've got to develop your ability. You've got to develop your eye, et cetera, et cetera. You've got to develop it. You got to do your Rocky montage. You got to go beat up on that slab of beef with your bare fists.
You do, though. You do, right? You got to grind. You got to put out. You got to do like hundreds of pages of sequential art.
Yeah.
Like I think with comics you do, and I think with storyboarding you do.
It's like a simple front stance punch. I tell my students, like at this point, I've probably done this punch 10,000 times. You just think about it. I've probably done this punch 10,000 times, and I'm gonna do it again. And it's like, so I'm really good at this punch.
Where's that punch landed? Let me guess.
Right.
I don't know where it's landed, but is it in the stomach?
Oh no! Like a simple front stance punch is usually like head or upper chest height. Okay. Yeah. It's a simple, linear, straightforward. Most of your weight's on your front leg. You got some weight on your back leg, so you're not tipping over, and your center of mass is between your legs, so that way you're not
hurt though, man. Those gut punches.
Oh yeah, the front stance punch it's the most powerful punch there is in all of martial arts, and it's the most basic of stuff. Just straight front stance punch because the way the body aligns, and just the physics of it. It is the most powerful punch. It's more powerful than the Superman punch, where you see the UFC guys jump in the air and come down with that punch.
Damn, the guy's doing a Superman punch at me.
Yeah, a properly grounded, like standard karate front stance punch that's collapse the rib cage. You could separate their breastbone. You could do all sorts of disgusting damage. They did it on Fight Science, like Bas Rutten even showed. Like Bas Rutten did like a front stance punch. Now, granted, he had more of a boxer stance to it, not a karate stance, but still. And like, dude, he manhandled those sensors.
Yeah,
I was like, I ain't ever pissing off Bas Rutten. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm gonna be his best friend.
Boxer back in the 40s and shit. He was telling me that, like, that gut punch, man. He's like the solar plexus, man. It'll always fuck them up, and they'll never see it coming, no matter how many muscles they got. Like they will. Yeah, this is a good whop, bam, right in the tummy,
Oh yeah. No,
it's like
the solar plexus. There's nothing there. It's just connective tissue.
Cheating, like it's some sports is cheating. You're not supposed to hit there.
Right. Yeah. No, the solar plexus. That's the one. There's nothing but connective tissue there too. That's right at the diaphragm. So if you catch them right in the middle of a breath, whether in or out, they're done.
Like that was always like his main focus for me. Like Matthew, you have to hit them in the solar plexus. Like that's always. I'm like, all right, but that's not as like fun as like breaking someone's nose or busting their jaw out or knocking a tooth out or busting their eye out. But like no, fuck that. The solar plexus. I mean, I don't. It's cool to draw that shit and all that. But in reality, kick them in the balls, hit them in the stomach. Hit them in the nose, break their jaw. Chop them in the throat. Well, and my grandpa studied judo too. That was a big thing. He was talking about physics all the time. they're coming at you, you fucking throw those motherfuckers, you know. You come in and then lean and fucking throw them and shit, you know, like use their momentum against them.
Right, dude. Like I say, like, you know, like, hey, dude, if you took Judo Gene LaBelle, right, and you put him in the ring with one of these UFC chumps, you take him at his prime and put him in with those UFC chumps, he'd manhandle him. He'd take him apart. And he's you know, judo is light striking, heavy grappling. People think it's just grappling. I'm like, no, it also has striking. Like the difference, one of the big differences between judo and jiu-jitsu is that judo, you don't want to go to the ground with your opponent. You let them go to the ground.
You want them to like bring all the force, you know?
Yeah.
And they just kind of like
you stay standing. They go sit.
And they bring it all. They bring all that energy, you know, and you just kind of turn it, you know?
Yeah. But
that's what I gathered out of it, you know. You just kind of like they bring everything. They bring all of it. They bring all the power, you know. And
you just agree with them.
And you just kind of agree with them, and you just turn it around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
that's like, such a beautiful punch.
It's like a gift.
Let's keep that momentum.
It's like gifting. Judo is all about gifting you energy, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's what I gathered out of it. You know, I never studied it, but that's what he was. What I took away from it, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, judo, jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. It's like, well, I thank you for the arm. I'm going to put this here.
Oh man.
It's like, if you put that within my safety bubble, it's mine now. I'm going to keep this toy.
Like, my sandbox. Well, turn around my sandbox all the time. It's real sandbox now. Oh man.
Yeah, I love this stuff, man, and I'm really excited for all the stuff that I see coming out in comics these days, dude.
Oh, dude, me too. I think next year is going to be a dope year, dude. I think
2024
it's going to be like a sleeper dope ass year. I think a lot of good things are going to happen, you know.
I think in 2024 we're going to see kind of it's going to be a very competitive low yield market this next year. The economy's in rough shape, and it's still kind of balancing itself out from all those pandemic free money that we got. Yeah. We're paying that bill. So and plus it's an election year, so
it is,
I
right?
think it's going to be it's going to be a little rough. Yeah,
it's in November, right? I'm like,
it is.
Dude, is it that? Because I'm up on my politics, but I'm not up on like the definitive fucking dates and whatnot. You know, right. Things are like a wash because and I talk politics a lot, dude, and I'm just like, you know, the Republicans and the Democrats, it's all like WWE, dude. Like they're all like the same thing
for real.
You know, there is no Republicans, there is no Democrats, and I was like, that's why Trump won, dude. He's a Molotov cocktail, you know.
Yeah, he's an aristocrat. He's not a Democrat or a Republican. He's an aristocrat.
He's a gangster. And like a lot of fools like, man, that motherfucking gangster. I'm like, no, he kind of is a gangster. His family, like, they had brothels and shit. And I voted for Trump, and I will vote for Trump again. But I'm like, he is a fucking gangster, dude. Like that's how his family started their shit, you know. And like,
but I think 2025 we're going to see if people can weather the storm. Right, because we're getting through this storm. I think 2024 is going to be good, and I think that it's going to seem like it's not going to be a get rich quick year. Not like the early days of CG, right?
No. Those days are long gone. Those rage backs. Yeah, those were called rage backs. Yeah, we don't do rage backs no more.
And like. I think, but in 2025, we're going to start seeing our crops start coming to fruition. That in 2025, we're going to see a bunch of studios get a little more official, and I think we're going to see them reaching out to the retail market. I think we're going to see, like, starting in 2025, I think we'll see like a burst of retail. Retail
Barnes and Noble, local comic stores, you know, and like even if we need to try to get in the comic stores, you know, like, oh, the comic stores are closing. Well, then fuck it, dude. Like, let's try, dude. It's a fucking battle, motherfucker. Like, let's get in there and try to get in there and like put our stuff in there. Let's get in Barnes and Noble. You know,
you want to get into comic book stores? I'll tell you how to do it. Right? You're gonna have to go fishing. You're gonna have to buckle down, go look them up, call them, make sure they're in business, talk to them, right? And then you're gonna have to send them a promo pack. You're gonna have to send them some ash cans, and I don't mean like, oh look, it's on glassy paper. No, I mean like this was printed at the local copier, and you stapled it and sliced it up yourself. You know, you fit half a dozen ash cans on on an 8.5 by 11 or some such nonsense, right? I think it's 8. I think you can fit 8 ash cans on an 8.5 by 11. That's double page, right? Not single. And you fold a piece of paper over it, you put a return address, you put the forwarding address, you put a stamp on it, and you put it in the mail like that. You don't even put it in an envelope. Put it in the mail just like that. It'll cost you less than $1 to advertise to each store. Yeah. No, you give your shit away. I was talking to this guy at work today, you know? Yeah.
There's you know, people say you gotta fucking fuck, I wish I remembered the way I put it, you know? Sometimes I say things that are decent. But like I was telling him, sometimes you got to spend money to make money. People say that all the time. Hey, dude, some people say you got to spend money to make money. Sometimes you got to give money away to make money. Sometimes you got to give shit away. Like, you're straight up fucking give it away. You know what I mean?
You got to spend money on bait.
Yeah.
And look, there's a pretty consistent statistic when it comes to ash cans. And that is that you'll move about 5 copies per ash can if you're nobody.
Sounds about right.
Right. And that doesn't mean that every store is going to order. The reality of that is only about 1 in 5 stores will order, but they'll order varying amounts. But larger stores do carry large amounts of underground comics. Think outside the box. Do you have, like, if you got a book that's got like that old school heavy metal 2000 AD vibe, go hit up the local oddity store. Like Silver Lake, dude, go to your store. Yeah, go to Google Maps and go to Silver Lake, California.
Oh, I know where that's at. I mean, I haven't been there, but I know.
There's like half a dozen oddity stores. I mean, Amoeba Records, world famous Amoeba Records was down there, you know? Yeah. Like, there's a half a dozen oddity stores. You can go look over at Hollywood. There's another half a dozen oddity stores where they sell just stuff. Hit them up. Hit them up. See if they'd be interested. Send them an ash can. You know, or you don't even see if they're interested. Don't even ask if they're interested. No, just confirm that they're there and that the store is in operating in viable condition, and then send them the ash can. Right? Know that
I can just drive down there and be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Right?
That's what I did, dude. I went to a bunch of the stores.
Hell yeah!
Half of them were like, "Cool, all right."
But that's what I did when I was 14. I put out a 4-issue miniseries called Super Strong Guys. And it was kind of a parody comic. Right? It had all the stereotypes, and they were all like overly buff. And they had they had eye stalks. They had like little eye stalks for heads.
It was terrible.
And overall, across the entire Bay Area of the 4 issues, I sold just about 500 copies.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You know, and you loved it. You know.
Yeah,
like
and
right now,
dude, I got intimate with every public transportation in the San Francisco Bay Area, East Bay, South Bay, you know, Peninsula.
Cool, dude.
And I just went around, and I went to each individual store, and I dropped off an ash can. And I said, I'm selling them for the cover price was 75 cents.
Fuck,
and I was selling them to the stores for 40.
Okay.
And each one cost me a cool 24 cents to make. I remember that. It cost me 24 cents to make each one.
Nice.
And it was a dinky comic. But you know what? It was the early 90s, and the underground scene was hot in the Bay Area.
You made
it was hot.
Killing right there.
Yeah, no, I made a couple $100.
Yeah.
You know, And I was 14 years old, and the comic was garbage, and I don't have an original copy left. So if anybody out there has a copy, like,
isn't that weird? Like we were talking earlier again, coming back earlier. Rob Liefeld's trying to buy some of his books, you know. Fuck it, like I was watching Cartoonist Kayfabe. Sometimes they got some cool books on there, dog. And the dude, fucking Jim Rugg, was trying to buy some of his books. He can't buy his books, you know. It's cool to have like your fucking books on, you know. Sometimes a couple extra, you know. I have for my Butch Cleaver, you know, books. I have like an issue 2 and 3, and they're kind of rare now. You know what I mean? I don't have that many. I'm like looking in my inventory. I'm like, fuck, I don't have that much. You know? And I'm
dude, like, somebody stole my last copy that I had of the of one of my favorite comics, Pirate Corps, from from Slave Labor Graphics. I absolutely loved that series, and I owned the original comics back in the day, but then I found a trade paperback that was like nice, thick, like novel sized, right? So I picked that sucker up, and it's all the issues. Plus, it's got a whole bunch of milk and cheese
on the back. The back matter.
Yep. And then somebody stole it. I was like, well. It is good. I can't blame them.
Someone stole my someone stole my, like, what was it? Toxic Crusader 4. That movie was pretty cheeseball, but
you know. Oh, dude, I love Toxie.
Dude, I'm down to watch the new one. Do you know about the new movie? The Toxic Crusader remake? Okay, brother. Do you know who's playing the new Toxic Crusader?
Who?
Peter Dinklage.
I love it.
So I'm like, all right, I'm down. Because like at first I'm like thinking about it, and then and I think like any fan of that will be like, all right, I'm down. You know what I mean?
I can't wait to see him rip out somebody's brain.
You know, like a midget fucking Toxie, like in like the pictures of him like coming through the door, like he just kicked down a door and he's like standing, he's like marching on the door that's been kicked down. You know, he's walking through it. And it's like kind of like a side view like that, you know. I'm like, okay, I get it. I'm down. You know.
Oh, dude.
And dude, you're coming from a fucking toxic. You know, I'm sorry. That was a toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
I was a Toxic Crusader kid, you know, and like I couldn't watch the Toxic Avenger until like later on, you know. So,
right.
Like I had the toys, dude. I had the toys. You know, I was born in '83. You know, so I'm 40.
Okay.
And, that was a big thing. Like, and it came out at the same time as TMNT. You know, I'm a '90s kid, man. I fucking love the '90s, bro, and the '80s too. I love the '80s and the '90s. You know, and the early aughts. So that was my shit. And I don't know. I'm excited for it. I forgot about that movie, dude.
I gotta check that out.
That's like a low, because like the movies. There's not that many movies I'm like hyped for this year, brother. Like I'm hyped for The Crow. That's like the number one, The Crow. Also Nosferatu, which is the same actor as Bill Skarsgård.
Oh, cool! I love Bill Skarsgård. He's gonna
nail down both roles. Like he's gonna own both roles really good. I'm like really confident. And then Hellboy. I'm really excited for the last Hellboy reboot with the new actor and all that shit. And also Toxic, Toxic Crusader, and yeah, man, those are like the main movies I'm kind of like hyped for.
Hell yeah!
There's not too many movies I'm really excited for, dude. Like
I've been so unexcited by movies that I honestly haven't been paying attention to what came out.
I kind of follow directors now, like following directors. That's what I do now.
I watched a nice little gem, an Australian science fiction alien invasion movie called Occupation. Highly recommend. That was a good movie. I think they have it on Amazon. It might be on Freevee, but it might be on Prime. I watched it when I had a Prime membership.
Yeah, I don't have my Prime
like you, I love Freevee.
Yeah, I like Freevee too. They got a lot of dope shit on there.
Dude, I'm watching Greatest American Hero.
I'm
for the first time since it came out, and I was a really little kid. I was like 4 years old when the show came out.
I'm about to watch I, Frankenstein again.
Oh hell yeah!
That movie is like, kind of a letdown in some ways, but like kind of fun too. But
it was a fun take on it,
like
it was fun.
I need to, like, one day I'm gonna have, like, Kevin Grevox or Graveau or however you want to pronounce his name. You know what I'm talking about? Who that is?
No.
I want to, like, he's like the creator of Underworld, the writer of Underworld.
Oh, okay.
He's also like the writer of Bass Reeves through Allegiance Comics, the one that did Red Rooster,
Oh yeah.
So he's an actor, he's a voice actor, he's a writer, he's a biochemist, he's a lot of things, right? So he's also
cool.
in the movie. He's a creator of Underworld, dude, and he's like the black dude with the dope ass voice, the werewolf in Underworld.
Oh, cool.
He's like, we lost him, really fucking cool voice.
That's cool.
But he's in our sphere, bro. He's actually in our sphere. He like makes books and shit. And
say what?
I'm gonna get him on the show one of these days. I've never talked to him, but I'm gonna, But anyways, he had a book called I, Frankenstein. He's the creator of I, Frankenstein, and the book had fucking like Dracula, the Wolfman. They were all like more mafioso, And the book was really gothic, like The Crow, and the book never really came out, And like, when the movie came out, it was more like Gargoyles and Angels. It wasn't like the Universal Studios monster. So, man, I want to get him on the show, man, because like I remember when the book was supposed to come out, and Frankenstein was like the main guy. He looked like the Universal Frankenstein. He had a big gun, like Hellboy, kind of like the Samaritan.
Right.
That's my jam, bro. And I was just like, dude. So I want to get him on the show. That sounds
great, because
I want to plug it. I want to like, hey, dude, what's up, man? Like, what's up with that book, dude? Like, I want to get a copy, And like, the movie was cool, and like, you got Aaron Eckhart, but like, I want a book, like that shit's dope, man. Like, I love the Universal Studio monster. Like, I love it when people take those tropes and like make like books and comics out of it, like Graveyard Shift, Creature Commandos, Frankenstein, the Agents of Shade. I know it's like foosball, but I like that stuff. So,
dude, I enjoyed Graveyard Shift, man. That was a fun book.
What up? No, it's I like that shit. I love it.
Wait, who's that? It's Courtney. Hey, what's up, Courtney?
How you doing?
I know, deja vu all over again. She was over on Rex earlier today.
Oh yeah, I try to pop on Rex whenever I can. He's always streaming while I'm at work.
Well, I think she was in the audience there. Then she was on Justin. She came up on the panel, and Justin's. I don't remember. It's been a long day, man.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know where my brain is. I seem to have misplaced it.
So we're probably going to wrap it up right now. We've been going for a few hours.
We have. It's been a blast, man.
And hopefully you can come on like a few more times next year. I should say.
I would love to.
Because you have a lot of products, and I haven't even like talked to you about anything. And like I haven't even questioned you at all. We've just been chilling.
Right.
Sorry. When's the next book launching? Apex Predator?
Hopefully. Yeah, Apex Predator should be launching on the 14th of January. That's the plan right now, is to launch on the 14th of January. I'll have my ducks in a row. I had to get a new printer. I should have noticed the warning sign from the printer I was choosing. They had danger hair. And they found out I was Comicsgate and sent me a very nasty letter, of which I said, "Your loss." 2 words. That was my response. Your loss.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking gay, dude. I'm sorry. I would say lame or stupid or fucked up or not right or fair, but I'll say gay just to piss them off.
Yeah, that was gay in a bad way.
Yeah.
Not even the courtesy of a reach around.
Yeah, exactly.
But fucking it's okay, lame. Dude. I've got within like where I'm located, I'm in the seat of my county. Mm-hmm. And so within driving distance, I've got a bunch of good printers in the area.
Fuck yeah, that's what's up. If you could,
because we've got universities around here, and
man,
and we have financial institutions. Yeah,
you got some good printers out there. There's some decent ones.
Yeah, and I just want to find a place where, I could just go there, go look at the proofs, go check out the first ones off the assembly line. Have that. I've been doing printing for, gosh, over 25 years. So I know what I'm doing when I go to the printers and I work with them, and I know how to get the product that I want. And I'm working on it. I'm working on it, getting that getting that buy-in point down.
Yeah.
All right. I want to get that buy-in point down. And I will eventually, like when the whole series is done, when the 6-issue miniseries is done. I'm coming out with this bi-monthly, by the way. I'm going to crowdfund the first one because I do need to get some supplies to expedite my process. Right. And I've got to pay back some debts. So I've got to get that hype out there. So if I can crowdfund the first one, and then maybe because I love Fund My Comic and Ray Haylock as well. I'm going to be working with him on building up a storefront.
Nice.
So that way
we can have multiple on Twitter. I just followed him.
Oh, that guy is a phenomenal dude. He's a stand-up guy.
I kind of read his profile, like, oh, this guy seems cool. I'm gonna follow him back.
Yeah, if you want to get your own store up and running, he's the guy to talk to. He's inexpensive. He has his own proprietary software, the whole 9 yards, and it's good stuff, dude. And it's surprisingly affordable.
Nice.
Right. I won't say it's cheap. I will say it's surprisingly affordable.
Right.
Because it's a good product, and he wants to see this stuff grow.
Fuck yeah, man.
He wants to see all this stuff grow. Yeah. So Apex Predator coming out this January 14th. Fund My Comic.
I'll be there, brother.
And bi-monthly series. I might even have a tier that's like, look, if you really believe in this project, I'll on each campaign I'll put a subscription tier, and that way you can save some money even then, and try to get something close to wholesale for you. You know what I mean?
Fuck yeah, man.
Getting this stuff, getting it out there. And of course, I'll have a Vic King trading card. If we hit that first stretch goal, I'll go get a 6 a.m. sticker. This is how you virtue signal your Comicsgate. And I'll have a Chibi Selena Chibi as well as a stretch goal.
Hell yeah.
And if I get enough money, I'm gonna throw ridiculous amounts of money at Boob Dan to get me a nice picture with Zero's tatas on full display.
Hell yeah, man. Boob Dan's the man.
And eventually, I would love to get a Preston Acevedo like painting. I love his style, and
he's in my top 3, dude. He's in my top 3 favorite.
Like he's another guy I'd love to throw money at. I've also got as far as like stretch goals and stuff, and cool artists and cool art. I've got John Zalesnik, legendary tabletop artist and fantasy science fiction illustrator, painter. We've got so with Apex Predator, we'll have free shipping, US and UK domestic, because we have operations. Tank Ferret Presents has production and distribution facilities in both countries, and the only variant cover will be the UK cover.
Okay.
You'll have to order that one from the UK. It will not be printed in the US.
I can't wait for this fucking campaign that you're launching, dude. It's gonna be so fucking like 90s. It's gonna be fucking. Oh, dude!
It's gonna be a simple campaign. No, get a floppy.
That's the way to
get it cheap. I've been experimenting with cost-effective packaging. Mm-hmm. See, I've got kids, right? So what I do is I put stuff in packaging and I tell my kids to mistreat it.
Yeah, beat it up, tear it up.
And I found some inexpensive solutions that deliver good package rigidity, that cut down the cost, because I'm not selling a collector's item here. I'm just trying to get you a comic book in intact condition.
Safe. Yeah.
Right. With a water resistant packaging and bend resistant packaging so that way, you're not spending $25 for a floppy. I just can't do it.
We got to get that book out, and people are gonna fucking love it once they get it. I know they are.
They're gonna love it, and it's gonna be good. It's a 6-issue miniseries with a double-sized finale. That when all is said and done, I'm throwing that into like a pocketbook, like the manga do.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm specifically designing this book to do that. So
no, that'd be perfect. That's brilliant.
And I want everybody to come on with this adventure, so those non-collectibles become collectible, because the main product was the pocketbook all along.
That's how you do it, man.
Right? And I hope it works. On paper, it seems like a solid plan, but I haven't met contact with the enemy yet, so we'll see.
Well, thanks for coming on, man. That's fucking dope, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to have you on a couple times this year for all your multitude of different projects. Can't wait. And thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you very much for having me. And dude, when I get my regular show back up and running, I'll have to have you come on over.
I would love to.
I try to. And King Leak and I will be bringing back What's in the Bag this year. So that's exciting as well, where we just kind of like bring up some random stuff, talk trash. It's fun. I mean, it's no Risey's dive bar, but it's fun.
No, Risey's fun. Risey's hilarious.
But Risey's my brother from another mother. Actually, he's my
Risey's
son.
Funny as fuck. I'm in the middle of the night drawing some shit. He's funny as fuck. Get me crying.
Hail Raven.
Where can people find you, Tank?
You can find me on most social media platforms at Tank Ferret Art. Although these days I'm really only on Twitter and Instagram. I'm going to be getting on Gilded more. I'm trying to make a habit of it, but I'm not
TikTok? You're gonna get that TikTok going?
I'm not into Chinese propaganda. It's cool. I'll pass.
Okay.
TikTok doesn't touch any of. TikTok is actually specifically banned in my house, not to be installed on any electronic device.
For sure.
Yeah,
but they can find you. They can find you on Twitter and Instagram.
Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome.
Those are the best places to find me.
Art and whatnot too. So sweet, man. And again, thanks for coming, man. And I'm looking forward to talking to you in the coming weeks. And
thank you. I had a good time.
And thanks for everybody that came by and said what's up. I really appreciate it. Thanks for helping me grow my channel. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be fucking able to do this. And Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year's, chat. And always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know you roll. I'll see you guys later. Bye.